it's not.
Then Arcana could hear it and not see it.
People born in the year 2000 don't have to remember what age they are.
I think that's wrong. It's people born in the year 2000 are still babies. Always.
We're all half centaur. Someone touched my right hand. Oh, that is true. Fuck, that now depresses me.
We are live, by the way.
Okay.
Thanks for the warning.
Everybody. What's up?
We're all
We don't
right
need
now.
no
I'll
warnings.
break your right arm and make your right hand touch your right.
It's impossible because they're on the
Wait,
same
what?
arm. That depresses me already.
I'll
Jesus
break
Christ.
your right arm so you can do it.
Oh,
Just
shit.
cut your arm off.
Just take a hacksaw, put it against your wrist, and brace.
Brace.
Hi, viewers. If you're just tuning in, everyone's lost their goddamn mind because of Esper.
We don't say that name in public.
Grapefruits.
Because of Briar, everyone's lost their goddamn
We don't
minds.
say that name in public either.
From now on, every time we get food, I'm gonna ask for grapefruits.
We're gonna, Mr. Grapefruit.
Okay.
That's your code name.
What? Do I have to go with some other name?
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for joining into Dreams of Azure. This is session 5. We'll be starting up here.
Yay.
So if you have not updated your sheets on Discord, please go ahead and do that. I think there was just 2 people. Sorry for joining in a little bit late today. I had a few difficulties in setting up, but we'll be good here. We'll probably go on till about 12:30-ish tonight. Try to keep things up to the 4-hour mark. But yeah. No, we are not naming session 5 Grape.
Oh,
It has been
Christ. Oh, Christ almighty.
Anyway. A few announcements. Again, if you would like to do your backstory session, please schedule that with me. Give me a date, give me a time. Let's get some communication going. And
I've tried to talk to you.
Bam.
Okay. Actually, like, give me. Let me talk. Give me a chance to respond. It's been a week.
Don't ask us, but it's you haven't responded yet. Excuse.
Everybody in this chat room. Anyways,
He's making this announcement like he's waiting for us. No.
some people. I have 3 of you that are that express interest, and I would like to get something scheduled with you so I can actually get those written.
Yep.
So yeah, I believe we do have an absence next week. Is that you, Zalgus?
Yup.
Okay. There will still be a game next week, but just without our friendly neighborhood road.
Aww.
I'll be sure to do you justice. Not like physically do you, but do you.
You knew I was about to say giggity, didn't you?
I thought you were gonna say grapefruit. But anyways.
No, that'd be Briar.
Grapefruit.
But that's pretty much all I really have. So we'll go ahead and get this started if I have everyone here.
Wait, there's no long-winded announcement? How can I
my
get into the mood? There's no announcement.
Grapefruit. The end.
That's a different mood.
Anyways, it has not been 2 days since this strange collection of individuals came together. Whereas some arrived under the pretense of finding treasures, others may have different notions, structuring their arrival upon the island of Iados. All these mingling destinies coincide with each other. However, small rifts may still yet form. As our party, not plural, use most of the day to recover and remedy the possibilities of illness and contamination, they begin to collect information throughout the town regarding some of their individual purposes. Faith collects the monetary reward from the quest, only to be offered a new one if her and the others wish for more coin and perhaps better rapport. The Jackleware within Bleakwood Forest are supposedly a far greater problem than Hackert made mention of, as reports of them kidnapping and assaulting those in the town that explored the inner reaches of the area. Meanwhile, Clara, Firion, and Zakari used their time to purchase a new cart for the farmer, perhaps out of guilt, and make time with him only to be awarded with a new garment from Firion. Zalgus and Briar, on the other hand, each make their way to gather their own respective information and see to other tasks. Zalgus researching more about the ancient treasure of the Pirate Lord, and Briar suddenly hearing about Anna's betrothed and a very recently reported as missing, supposedly kidnapped by the Jackleware from within the forest. As the group then begins to meet and assess, more stories from the local herbalist warrant further reason to garner interest in the task as soon as her son has been missing for weeks himself. Now it might seem like their next goal is clear. Delving into the Bleakwood may provide all the answers they need, but the dangers that lurk within may prove to be just too much. So, with all of you now retreating back to the tavern and collected into the same table you initially conversed at, the six of you gather around in this very early evening on the 5th of Tarsak. What would you all like to do?
Can I see if they have some grapefruit in stock?
Jesus, man.
I need a timeout channel.
Go be with your thoughts elsewhere.
Anyway,
Are we all here? Because we were waiting for everyone to group up.
yes, all of you are there.
I feel like we wouldn't sit down. We were gonna go. Am I wrong?
Yeah, last we left off, we were heading to the forest to...
Like we were grouping up at the tavern, but as soon as the last person got here, we'd be like, "Okay, is everyone ready? Let's go." We wouldn't all sit down at the table.
That's up to you guys. If you all would like a minute to assess and discuss, and go for it.
So, what do you guys think? Is it as simple as it sounds? Just find this lost person that Briar spoke of and easy 2,000 gold, yes?
There's way more than one lost person.
How many are we exactly talking about here?
I know of at least two, and I believe there's more. She looks towards Faith.
There's no telling exactly how many is going to be there.
This situation must be pretty dire to entrap so many people.
Especially the herbalist's son. He practically lived in the woods to collect the herbs. For him to be taken there in his own area, I'm very suspicious.
So, what's our plan? Should we just go in there forthright, or is there a way to do this covertly, or what do you all feel?
Well, there's extra reward for exterminating them all as well. But the problem is we don't know how many there are.
Yeah, that does seem kind of worrying, though. Where exactly are we supposed to begin with our search? I mean, yes, I definitely vote for the cautious route, but we have no clue where exactly that cautious route is going to take us, or how deep into the woods that's going to...
I think it would be wise to prioritize rescuing the people and not the extra reward from exterminating them.
That
Too
does
many
seem
people
right.
are missing.
Well, the whole goal is to find out why they're organizing in such a way. It's not even necessarily to exterminate them.
Should we perhaps attempt to find them and observe them for a while?
I think, and if you excuse my boldness, we are wasting daylight here talking when we should be exploring the woods.
Clara stands up and says, "Well, let's go then," and she heads toward the door.
Briar follows.
Okay. I'm assuming all of you are going to be leaving the Brown Bear Tavern.
Yeah, I'll follow along.
Yep.
Okay. Any objections, please speak up now. Otherwise, as you all leave the Brown Bear Tavern and back into the village of Brownleaf Prop, upon asking a few individuals, they direct you to the nearest path into the Bleakwood. It is about 5:00 p.m., and the oranges and purples of the hue of the sunlight starts to dim upon the horizon. It's not quite near sundown yet, but you can tell that the crickets are starting to chirp a bit more, and some of the elements of people starting to gather for their evening suppers and leaving from their long, hard days at work have begun to transpire around you. And as you all begin to leave towards the fort, this is your last chance to do any kind of free shopping or anything else. Anybody?
The only preparation thing I'm going to do before we head into the forest, I'm going to cast Fiendish Vigor on myself.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for that, please.
It's the full word cast, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyone else?
I'm
yeah,
good.
I guess I'll cast False Life on myself.
Okay. Yours actually take a spell slot, however.
Wait.
Yours is free, Sakari. Fury and casting it actually takes a spell.
What do you mean, can I cast spell?
Just do the long rest. Okay, Furion gets 7 temporary hit points. You can add that to your roll 20. Do exclamation point game space long rest. And now do false life.
5.
And Zakar will add 5 temporary HP to both your total.
That looks like
Also,
I'd eat a spell
he's
slot.
gonna use Detect Magic.
Okay, Faith, you were saying?
That looks like it ate one of his spell slots. Isn't that supposed to be free?
Should I just do long rest again?
It's semantics. Don't worry about it too much. Again, we're not using the spell slot tracking as maintained in your character sheets.
I just didn't know if the sheet itself was gonna stop him from casting something else first level from that.
It will, but he can just long rest a little while.
Should I long rest now, just to get over?
Sure, if you want to. It's up to you.
Well, if he long rests now, won't it remove the temporary hit points?
Let's see.
No. It's via Discord, so it's fine.
Yep, we're good.
Okay. And Furion, as you begin to cast your detect magic, you kind of swirl around your fingers in the air as the slight hum of purplish energy begins to manifest itself around your palm and your wrist and spiral down to your elbow as the crystal around your neck begins to glow a faint, dim light. As you then look around, amid your companions, you see a few trickling of magical items, now with one upon yourself and nestled into your backpack, unless you are actually donning your new.
Yeah, he was wearing it. He put it on.
And, I mean, other than a few new presences of magic, notably on Zalgith, you don't really detect anything else for the moment being. However, it is a 10-minute channeling spell, so you can maintain concentration for the while being.
Yeah, he's gonna maintain concentration on it for a little while.
Understood. Okay. As you all begin to leave the dirt pathways from Brownleaf, you all begin to walk towards the opening crevice of the forest beyond, to the north of the village itself proper. Upon doing so, it takes you about a 20-minute walk to get in, to actually enter into the opening canopies. As you all enter, the forest itself is very, very dark. Given the entire breadth of the trees around you and the overall girth and size of these trees, they are quite full and quite tall for that matter. The foliage among them are dabbled in the newly minted of greens from the warm spring tropical air that is intermittent throughout the region. And as you all begin to creep further into it, you get about 10 feet in, and you begin to see small little nestlings of a few houses around the first parts of the forest itself. You imagine it's probably people who don't necessarily live within the breadth of Brownleaf, but more trickling hermits that live intermingling the starting elements of the forest structuring. Walking past that, seeing the small tufts of smoke from the fireplace and nobody else around that you see that to talk to, you make your way a bit further in. The small rays of light entering in from the tops of the canopies of the forest gleam down upon the floors around you as the sounds of pine needles and crunching leaves are underfoot. The smells around you are that of moist earth and pungent herbs. You smell what seems to be just meager farming herbs: basil, thyme, rosemary, different minglings of plant life all around you. The bushes are thick, the trees are full, and you all have a little bit left before the path disappears before you. Is there anything you'd like to do before embarking?
Is anybody here a trained tracker of any kind?
No, not really, but I do have this, and I'll go ahead and pull out the orb. We can use this as a sort of compass, begs to where we at least know which way we're going, which way's north.
As he withdraws this orb, about the size of his hand itself, it nestles gently into his palm. Furion, you notice immediately that this is the new source of magic that has recently appeared on it. The orb itself kind of twists and gleams a little bit in this small amount of dim light within the forest proper. In it, once he speaks the actual command word of Zalgus, you can actually... Did you give it a command word, actually?
No, because I assumed there was already one because of the creator using it already.
That was his command word for it. You have your own. Once you adopt the magic item to yourself, you can give it to him.
Alright, and then that case, I will give a command word to it, and then I'll go point.
The command word is point?
Point.
Understood. Go ahead and write that down simply so you don't forget it.
Not as good as fish plunging.
As soon as the word escapes your lips, a small blue light begins to dim at first, as it begins to surge through the actual orb itself and begin to etch its way down to the element to where north is. It begins to swerve and then gently relax as it stays firm in your hands, as it is now pointing.
Okay, well, we have our north. At the very least, did they say anything about where exactly this Jackleware group is supposed to be holding out?
I was not told. That's why I was asking if anyone knew how to track. Perhaps we could find some footprints or clues of either Jacklewares or the people that once were here.
Alright. Well, based on where everything is, with the direction the arrow is pointing, which way is the village that we just came from?
You just left the village from the south, so you had to walk north to lead the village into the forest itself. The forest itself, the island of Iodos, is comprised mostly of this forest. The Bleakwood Forest is a large, amassing biome that sprawls out miles and miles across the breadth of the island. Only only partitioned by the steep cliffs and coastlines of the actual island itself.
So basically, as long as we are heading, like if we're returning, as long as the arrow's pointed in literally in the opposite direction we're going, we're heading the right direction back to the village.
I mean, the magic item always points north. It doesn't give you like directions itself. It can't tell you what way is the village, etc. But I mean,
I understand that. Yeah, assuming we still stay on the same path, we know we're heading back to the village if we're making our way back south. So, if the arrow's basically being pointed towards my chest, in other words, that's literally Zalkus's logic on that one.
Sure. Yes, you get a general mindset of whence the area you've come from and where that would be. It won't be perfect, mind you, because the village is just a small portion of this very gigantic land.
All right. So, we've got everything heading north. Which way do you think would be best?
I say just scouring the jungle would just work. If you run into any of these Jacklewares, maybe stealthily, they'll lead us back themselves.
Well, we only have one idea where they were so far. The writ doesn't say anything about it. And that's backed by old man... crap. What's his
The
name
alchemist.
again? No,
The
not the
alchemist's
alchemist.
son
the
was
farmer.
also taken picking herbs, so if we could find herbs, perhaps that's where he went.
While they're all talking, I'll gaze around the ground for any kind of footprint left.
Okay, give me a survival check.
Can we,
Ooh,
I guess, hear anything from around here? Like any sign or noise from potential Jackalwares or anything?
Perception check. Sakari, as you start looking on the ground for prints, there are plenty of prints. Actually, it's easy enough check to make. You are still starting to exit the main path itself, and given that you are right outside the cusp of the inner hermit lodge, there's been a lot of people who have been traversing this path to and from the forest.
and there's tracks that go farther into the forest, I assume, or do they kind of stop at some?
They go farther in, off the path, and into the actual dirt and pine needles. Firian, as you kind of close your eyes and kind of take in the sounds around, you hear a chopping of wood from behind you. One of the small settlements. You hear some birds throughout the trees. A few dogs off in the distance, but nothing that sounds like what you heard the night.
Okay, then you'd stay quiet.
Is it possible to have try to think to myself what I can recall from the encounters me and my previous master might have had in the wilderness, since that's where he lived? If I've come across these creatures, and what can I recall about them? Their tactics, where they're at in the daylight, evening, things like that. General information. Anything that I can think about or recall to share?
You've never encountered these creatures yourself personally, with the exception of the night prior, obviously. You've heard a few things from around the village and some of your recent errands. The Jackleware problem has been a problem as of the last month or two, well before you even came around. You don't really know much about them, as those who are generally encountered them are generally not found, or they're not found alive.
Comforting. Yes. Well, Clara just stands amidst everybody, twirling the end of the ponytail, and kind of just looking at everyone. So I'll follow you guys. I mean, whatever direction you all feel is best.
I found some tracks. People usually take this road, so wherever these ones go, we'll find something else. As I point out the tracks that I discovered.
Doesn't that just mean it'll lead to and from town?
Well, it goes farther into the forest, so it's at least a direction.
Well, as I mentioned before, there was that one that ran away after we finished up with Hackert's place yesterday. So that's actually a decent place to start, too.
Yeah, that potential alpha, I'm assuming, or at least an observer working for it.
I mean, given with the weather, it might not be there anymore, I guess, but...
Could it not have strayed from here?
Faith shrugs.
Keep in mind, you all entered the forest of the village. The village itself is about a 2-hour walk away from Hackert's farm, where you intercepted the Jackleware.
Well, should we at least start heading back that way and see what we can investigate?
Well, we got nothing else to go on.
Well, I mean, we're also here. I mean, if we follow the tracks and something strays from the road, then that would be okay, too. But that's also... Neither one of them could be a direct line to the problem. We don't even know. We have absolutely no idea where to start for this.
Well, with all due respect, we're just standing here.
You basically just said what 2 ways we have to start with this. We either follow these tracks, or we follow the direction you saw one run. I'd say that's 2 starting points.
Well, I was kind of hoping someone else would actually pipe in and actually make some kind of choice, but I guess not.
Then let's just follow these.
I'll follow Zalgus with the tracks he discovered in the pine needles.
Weird, I discovered tracks in the pine needles? That's new.
Sorry. Zakari.
Okay, this is the deciding point where we start calling Zalgus Gus, so you don't use that Z part ever again. Okay, just making that clear.
Hey, you're the one who coerced with him to make these retarded Z names.
What? What?
That is not how it happened.
You originally wanted all of us to be Z. It would have been a clusterfuck.
No.
Ray would have killed us automatically.
Anyway, Zakari points him out yet again, and he starts walking down the path.
Briar follows him.
Following.
I'll follow along.
Not but 2 minutes, and the path disperses as you are now into the breadth of the actual deep wood. The Bleakwood Forest. Faith and Clara, give me a history.
Is that a history?
Correct. Okay. From what both of you know, the Bleakwood, it's the forest itself is ventured into quite often by those seeking out the pirate treasure of Hulhurk's Spinebreaker. People will often come in these forests for days, weeks at times, and go on pilgrimages or hunts to seek out whatever fortunes they can amass. More often than not, frankly, almost every occasion that most people have come back, it's always been empty-handed. The number of people that traverse these woods is many. However, that does not stop the fact that what you recall of this place is that it is called the Bleakwood for a reason. The entirety of the forest, on the outskirts, on the cusp of the actual village and the coastlines, the outermost parts of the forest are actually, for the most part, peaceful. But the further in you go, the bleaker it gets. Traps, man-eating plants, and other ruins filled with old traps and inlaying magical entities that often stop travelers from traversing much further in than they probably need to be. Most people leave a lot more trepidatious than they do when they enter. As far as you all know at the moment, you are still within the outer portions of the forest, the peaceful portions, where herbs are a bit more rampant, and not as many dangers are.
Clara looks toward everybody, says, I think we're on the outskirts of the forest, but if I remember correctly, it's only going to get more dangerous the further in we go, as you probably all could have guessed.
They're all gonna have to keep our eyes peeled.
Okay, who is leading this? Give me a marching order here.
I assume Zakari's in front since he was tracking.
Yeah, and I'm following behind him.
I'll be second from the last, in the back.
I'll be in one of the middle positions.
DM, you mentioned that we're in an area full of herbs, right? Would I be able to make a check and see if there are any of those fire herbs that the shopkeeper was low on?
I'll need to make 2 checks. Give me a perception check first.
I guess Fearin will be in the back.
I guess Faith.
Yeah, he would.
I guess Faith will be
Wow.
forward then.
Wow.
There's your perception.
Okay, 8. As you look around, you see a number of plants and herbs. Some things you recognize, a lot of things you don't. You don't really know what you're looking for. Give me a nature check, please.
In this to check, you have to spell it out completely, or it'll be something else, or it's just NAT, like I think.
Just do NAT, like NAT. Should be just fine. Oh, let me know if this is the. I'm typing in Dream's chat right now, so let me know if this is the right order for you. As I complete this real quick. Okay, 12. As you look around, again, a lot of the herbs around here, you notice the things that you commonly eat, the basil, thyme, rosemary, a few other flowers that you have seen in the herbalist shop back in Brownleaf, but nothing that resembles what she pointed out to you.
Okay, fair enough. Let me know if there's an opportunity when I can do so again, or I don't want to metagame or anything like that.
I'll just ask when you feel the time is right.
Okay.
All right. So, now Zach and Furian, give me perception check.
What about me?
I need the people in the front and the back to do perception check.
Oh,
I see jack shit.
Okay. You all travel for about 2 hours. Clara and Faith, you now know that you are approaching the inner portions of the forest. As it's getting darker and darker, you find out that it's not just the lack of sunlight that's around, as you know that it's a full moon out, but it starts getting a bit more cautious in your step. Does anyone want to produce a light source?
I can get mine out if we need to. Especially since right now I can't see shit.
Like before, now coming to understand his abilities, he will procure a light with his shield again.
Okay. As soon as Zalga starts taking out his candle, standard practice for the rogue in his time alone and traveling, Zalga raises the shield and then a green light begins to illuminate around it, and it then exerts out the same light, pale green light, almost white, but has its slight green tint.
Oh, Zalgus raised the shield, huh?
You call him
I'm
Gus
lighting
from now
a
on.
candle and then raising a shield. Holy
Sorry, Zakari.
Call him Gus.
I called this before the game started, and yeah, everyone was like, "No, it'll be fine. Their names are different." Okay.png.
As Zach raises the shield, then poof, the light begins to flush the area around you. As soon as you do so, you see lit up eyes, reflections of some irises amid the trees and the bushes around as they begin to close and disperse. You see a scattering of few woodland creatures, squirrels, possums, small cats, and the like. As the way is now lit forward, you all continue traveling. Let me see that real quick. Zakari, Briar, and Faith, give me a dexterity save. Okay. As the three of you begin walking forward, the three of you obviously in the front of the marching order, you're a bit scattered out. But as you all begin to collect upon some of the soft ground, the three of you begin to feel it kind of start to collapse underneath you as your feet start shifting and the dirt starts collecting and pulling towards the bottom of your heels. As the three of you simultaneously look to each other and then leap off of it and off to the side as the entire dirt around you begins to collapse and begin to sink in.
Is this like quicksand or like a pitfall trap?
Like a pitfall trap. As you kind of look behind you from what you just escaped, you see what looks to be a small pit about 5 feet down.
What's inside the pit?
Nothing at all. Not at first glance, at least.
Well, that's a new one.
Are you two okay?
Whoa!
I'm fine.
You guys are right. What was... I assume, like, Zalgus and I are, like, on the other, like, behind them now, like, behind that pit.
Are we separated by the pit now?
Yes, but the three of you are separated from the other three. Not that it's not, you all can just walk around it, of course, but I mean, you don't know what other things are around you.
Briar is going to grab onto Zach's arm and then carefully, like, tread up to the edge of the, like, testing her footing as she goes to then look over the edge.
I don't resist.
She's using you as leverage in case she falls.
Yeah.
She's tiny,
Also-
so you can probably pick her up.
Just to point out, Fiendish Vigor runs out in an hour. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, rip. But I mean, after this, I would reapply it.
Well, you can reapply it. Fury can.
Yeah.
I didn't think it would take forever, but okay, that's fine.
For the sake of brevity, I'll just have you roll in case you.
In case what?
In case the opportunity comes to where you would possibly need.
Oh, okay.
Just
you.
just for this instance, mind you, I don't want you rolling like 2, now 3 more times for temporary.
Yeah, I just realized how long we would be walking for.
Correct. It's about
Still together.
7:20 at night right now.
Sorry, Furion.
Nah, I should have thought ahead.
Well, if this isn't a sign that we're in the right place, I don't know what is.
They're intelligent enough to make traps, it seems.
It looks like more like we're in a hole of the right place, not a sign.
Do I see anything, Ray?
From your perception,
You didn't ask for one.
no, I think I had 3 of you make perception checks initially.
No, you had.
No, you had us roll a dexterity check a little bit ago.
Yeah, I had.
You only had the front and back to perception.
Correct.
And that was Zakari and Fury.
Yeah, this is in regards to what's in the hole.
Yeah, Briar grabbed onto Zach and went to the edge of the hole and is looking down. Does
Oh,
that
okay.
not
Sorry, I
get
didn't hear
anything,
that
or
Go ahead. Go ahead and give me a perception check. 12. As you kind of glance down, Sakari holding onto your wrist, as you kind of
I would do
lean in.
wrists. I mean, that
She's
sounds
holding on to
weird.
him, but she
Yeah.
grabbed your
Okay.
probably your elbow.
All right. So you kind of grab onto his elbow and kind of lean in to kind of examine the contents of. The dirt seems to mostly caved in, and the surface layer of this pit is now the soft dirt in which collapsed when you all leapt from the actual pitfall itself. But you do see what looks to be some white residue, not like powder, but something kind of buried underneath the dirt.
Can I find like a rock or something alongside the road and toss it into the hole?
Simple enough. Toss a rock into the hole.
Yeah.
How far down is the hole?
About 5 foot.
Yeah, I know it's only 5 feet, but like, just to see if something else might happen if weight hit the bottom of the pit.
No, nothing else happened when the rock kind of just lands and the dirt kind of off.
I
Anything-
see some kind of powder. Did someone not mention something about?
Oh, I said it was not powder. It's some sort of
Oh.
white thing. It seems to be buried, but it's not.
Oh, I didn't hear the not. I just heard powder.
It's the great.
That's my, I said residue, and that typically means powder. That's my.
Am I nearby to look in the hole as well?
Yeah, you're all around the hole.
Is there a stick I can grab and attempt to like a 6, 7, 8, 9, 10-foot twig stick? I can poke this residue and get a better look.
Yeah, simple enough. It takes about 5 minutes. You find a stick of about your.
All right. I poke the stick into the residue and I retract it back and try to take a better look at it, see if I can tell what it is.
As you use the stick to kind of like poke and prod it, it appears to be an actual solid object. As you kind of like lift it up, as it has a tad bit of weight to it, as it looks to be a thin, kind of relatively long piece of
Piece of what?
bone. It's looking at it. It seems to have. It's not pure white. The dirt itself is kind of a bit caked onto it, as it's not. It's definitely not so old or anything.
Claire looked at it and says, "Well, I can only assume that underneath these bones might lie the cause of death for whatever this creature once was. Perhaps spikes, or some kind of poison, or something. Regardless, good job avoiding it, you guys."
Right. We should be much more careful going forward, not knowing what they're capable of besides putting you to sleep. As I turn to face the trail again.
As a reminder, this is the main road out of town at this point, right? Still?
You're about.
No, we've been off that trail for a while, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just curious for my own mind.
Guess I'm following back on behind.
We should probably keep a lookout for more traps like this then.
Is there any way we can walk cautiously, or that's only combat specific?
Sorry.
Like, you know how you take the dodge action in combat, and basically you have a buffer between any hostility that comes toward you? There's no way to like walk cautiously.
No, you can't take a dodge action unless you know what you're dodging.
Right. Okay.
Can't you walk at half speed and be more ready for something though? I believe that's
Yes.
in the player's.
Yeah, you can like be cautious when walking. I'd probably have all of you make stealth checks to do that, just so you can kind of traipse around and kind of keep your eyes and ears.
I'd like
That's
to do
only
that.
if you're walking half speed though.
Correct.
Well, we already entered the danger zone anyway, so it's not like we haven't found it, the place.
I'm gonna move you all maps.
We get a new map.
Do we need to rearrange that, or is that just the continuation?
Yeah,
from
go ahead and
what-
rearrange it however you need to.
So where was the hole then?
Let me do that real quick. So you all the front. So there. So yeah, the hole would be basically the 6 spots below down. So that entire little area, a bit wider than that. It's about 2 by 3.
What kind of trees are in the area?
Give me a nature check.
God
You
damn
got
it.
no fucking clue.
Ah,
They are wooded and
They got wood.
Are they sturdy? Or are they covered in like slimy moss? Or
you don't know
you mean just by looking at it?
just by looking at it.
Okay then.
You're not sure if it's part of the area or if it's part of the natural elements. It's too dark. You can't really see that well right now.
Oh, I see the darkness. Okay. I thought we had light in the area. My bad.
Yeah, it's a dim green, like pale green light from.
All right, good enough.
So, as the 6 of you begin to gather and collect yourselves, assuming Zalgus, Furion, and Clara, you all walk past the.
Yeah,
Yeah.
go around it carefully.
Okay. Yeah, nothing else happens. You seem to be fine.
Say we're burning daylight just staring at a hole, but
Oh, that's the green light.
It's a bit too green for my liking.
It's whatever.
That's
Well,
just
Oh, in character. Well, then let's keep on going then, see what we can find.
Okay.
Zalgus, as you all are walking, you're still kind of holding up the orb as the trail seems to be leading you a bit more east northeastward.
All right.
But as you all continue forward, go ahead, all of you, give me perception checks. Okay,
the under
Tim.
10 club.
Mm-hmm. High five.
did you just say har high five?
Yes.
Hard 5.
Rah, rah, ree, kick him in the knee.
Golf clap high five.
5, 5, 5.
Not a lot of thoughts in my character.
Anyways, Zalgus and Clara, as you all are now going through this naturally kind of path of the forest, you see cut down trees around you. Looks to have been cut down relatively recently, maybe not be more than a few months ago, perhaps. You also begin to hear a slight kind of murmured sounds far off in the distance. It sounds small at first, but then it begins to escalate in its volume a little bit, just enough to tickle your ears.
Can we tell if it's a human speech or
Give me an intelligence check. That's intimidation. Actually spell a lot of intelligence. So do INTE. You're gonna try to intimidate the sound. 12. It sounds somewhat human, like almost like a giggle.
well, okay. Does anybody else hear that? She says.
I heard it too. I'm a little worried about what the hell that is.
Does it sound like they're just speaking louder, or as if they're approaching us?
You're not sure.
Say again?
You're not sure.
Guys, should we do you think we should try to hide and see if these things come closer, or this sound comes closer, or you want to proceed? What should we do?
I'd say we try to get a lookout point, hide and see what we can see.
Good idea. Clara goes into this foliage right here and makes herself a less visible. She tries to stealth, basically.
Give me a stealth check. While Clara jumps into the bushes, what are the rest of you all doing?
I look
See the-
to. Oh,
But you see this conversation transpire between Clara and Zalgus as they make plans, but you definitely have a mind of your own. What you should do.
Well, I said this out loud.
Okay, doesn't mean they can listen to you or follow.
Guys, I swear that I think something is coming this way. I think we all should find a place to hide. Get behind the bushes, something. Just get out of sight and clear the pathway.
So just off the pathway then.
Bushes. Just find a spot in the bushes to hide. I've got a bad feeling about this.
Yeah, then shouldn't certain somebody turn his light off? I looked at Zach.
Zach looks back to Furion as he nods, and he taps the shield twice to turn it off. And he hops into the bush, race up. Briar, go.
Faith will roll her eyes and just find one of the nearer bushes since she uses her special thing to be able to hide in less foliage and everything.
Okay, all you need is give me stealth checks, Faith with advantage.
You already got mine.
Okay.
God damn.
So far,
That's-
rolls are average.
Let's hide, guys.
It's going to be Faithful
Yeah.
that makes it. Not bad. As the six of you begin to jump and dive into the bush, easy enough. You find bushes big enough to where you all can amass yourselves and stay relatively hidden, at least as far as you're concerned. Sakara, you kind of have you kind of get your foot kind of snagged on a branch. You kind of tug it a little bit, and it snaps to twig. But you do manage to get behind one of the bushes yourself. About 3-4 minutes pass. The forest and the noise begins to calm down a little bit as now you all hear the slight swaying of branches from the. And then, one by one, you all hear it. Slight little giggles amidst the air, like wisps upon the. It hits your ears for like a second and then dissipate.
The hell is that?
Faith, you see off in the distance, about maybe 30 or so, a few bits of light just kind of trickle down from the sky. A little bit. And then it disappears. About 4 seconds later, about 5 feet away from that point, the same little sparkles, almost as though these is kind of glittering as it falls delicately down to the ground, dissipates.
Faith tries to keep her eyes on it, but doesn't actually say anything since we are hiding. I don't think anybody's really near enough to me that actually knows exactly where I am to try to point it out.
You look around and you see Zakari about 10 feet away from you off into the bushes, but his eyes are kind of looking around for any sort of sign. They don't meet yours, however.
She tries to just keep her eyes on it then.
Okay. As you watch it, it begins to delicately move around the forest. It begins to nestle onto one of the dead trunks of one of the chopped down trees, and you hear a slight sob as the bit of light begins to glance back up and dissipate into the air, high amongst the canopies of the forest, and then all falls silent again.
Where exactly on the map was it coming from? Because she's going to start kind of creeping towards it.
It's around over here.
Alright, well, I'll stay... I guess I can only move about 10 feet intermittently.
I'm sorry?
I'm assuming I can only move like about 10 feet intermittently while maintaining what I perceive as stealth.
Yeah, you're kind of keeping like half movement speed, so you're moving around, keeping to the foliage. As you start to go in, is more where there's more chopped down trees and bent over branches and things.
Yeah, so she's gonna like I said, continuously try to creep sort of towards it to see if she could actually get some decent vision on it. But she's not going to leave the brush.
Okay. As you kind of keep to the bushes, kind of jumping from bush top to bush top, and kind of leaning against one of the trees and looking around, using your adept elven heritage to kind of keep to the shadows. You look, and there's nothing. There's no elements of sight nor sound from what you saw previously. Zakari, you're the first to see Faith move out of as you see her move further into the actual wooded path.
I turn to Briar and Zalgus. I can see him too, right?
Zalgus, yeah.
Faith is moving. I'm going to follow her. I suggest you do the same. Alright, be careful. He just nods to that, and he moves his way slowly through the bushes, not trying to get his feet caught this time in anything, so he can still maintain sight on Faith.
Okay. As you move through the bushes, you're not quite as stealthy as the wood elf, and you're at several footsteps. You crunch on a few leaves, but also giving the notion that now Clara, Furion, and the rest of them are actually now seeing your movements through the wood. Faith, what are you doing?
She's still continuing to move along, slowly.
Okay.
To make better angles and see if something else kind of catches her eye from the direction, even though we never saw anything. Her attention is almost entirely focused over here, though. I'm going to point that out.
Okay. As you collect further into the wooded path, it begins to open up into more of a. The clearing is not natural, however, as most of the trees have been cut down or have been pulled from the ground. Gnarled roots emerge from the ground and coil around certain bits of the clearing. Downed tree branches and large tree trunks dying with fungus decay all over them are toppled over amidst the clearing as well. As you keep your eye glued to the spot, still nothing. It seems whatever seems to have graced that tree stump is long since passed, at least in your mind's eye.
Okay, but so that's actively just like a tree, not actually brush or anything over there, so I can actually see clearly into it, correct?
Whereabouts? Sorry.
The place where the event was actually happening.
It's something over here. That was
Yeah,
it was
no,
a tree trunk underneath the tree.
So it's just a tree trunk underneath a tree. It's not actually
Yes.
covered in like brush or anything.
No, the tree trunk is underneath the canopy of a very tall tree. The tree trunk itself is dead. There's bits of mushroom on it, but you see it looks to be kind of recently cut.
She is going to look further into this clearing just to see if she makes out anything, as if something from there might have moved out into it.
Give me a perception check. Okay. Just kind of gaze around. Nothing seems out of the ordinary. Looks to be just a forest clearing. The darkness is a bit overbearing as you looking into your dim gray tones amidst the stone walls and the tree trunks around you.
Okay, well, she is gonna still... Is the brush that she's kind of walking through opening up towards that way, or is it staying natural still?
From where you're walking?
Well, okay. She obviously looked towards the clearing, but towards this way, is that still staying brush, or is that turning into more open-ended tree area?
That's more brush.
Okay,
But
so-
it will end when you see it end, like over here. It will.
Yeah. No, I was just making sure that it also wasn't trees like this, and so I could actually move that way while still staying
Correct.
hidden.
It needs to be some very tall ferns.
Okay. She is still going to then continue through the brush to get closer towards the clearing.
All right. As you kind of move through the brush again, kind of pushing aside some of the very thick larch, you begin to see something off in the distance, more towards the lefter part, towards the north. As you see, it looks to be more glimpses of light scattering to the ground, just like little spattering, like glitter falling from someone's hand to the floor. What are the rest of you all doing? Sakari, you see Faith move further in. All of you see Sakari moving further.
I would move and keep Faith in my line of sight. So I would move. I would get. What is this still all same bush, or is that like?
Yeah, it's all
okay.
bush.
All bush. Got it. So he would get here. And if I may look around more closely around as well to see what I see. Is it too early to do a perception?
It's still too early given how much you've moved, or how little you moved, I should say.
Okay.
But the rest of you, Briar, Zalgus, Furion.
Oh,
Sorry.
good.
Let's go in order of whom I announced. Briar?
She's following behind stealthily in the bushes.
Okay, so you're pretty much side by side by Sakari?
Yes.
Okay. Zalgus.
I'll be following along with them. I was just gonna say something in character to Briar,
Go for it.
just signaling. Alright. Let's see what exactly this is all about. Ready?
She nods to you.
And I'll follow. I'll be right behind her position.
Understood. Furion?
I assume you mentioned that we could see at least Zach moving
Yes.
up. Well, I guess Furion would slightly curse under his breath, and he would carefully cross to their side of the bushes and start following them.
You die. I'm kidding. Good.
Kick your ass.
What was
So
the
he'd
old joke?
start to catch up.
Make a swim check?
That's Zalgus.
That's not Zagus. That was Nadia.
Swim check? That was Leo.
Yeah, that was Leo, but
Foot in water.
but Now notice how I've gone from dude wearing heavy armor to an actual fish person.
He's learned. What'd you say, Esper?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, I thought it says something.
I had to take one step in water that's like not even a foot deep. Roll swim.
Yeah, see, Arcana knows what I was talking about.
Bar, what are you doing?
Would I be able to move with the move to the group while maintaining stealth, or am I just gonna?
I mean, you can do anything you want. Whether that maintain stealth or not, you.
I'd like to try to maintain as much stealth as possible while I follow the group.
Okay.
Can I go straight ahead and still technically be in bushes, with the exception of that green?
Yeah, you can migrate
Yeah,
as you dart from one bush and you kind of keep low to the ground. Not that it's not difficult for you because you are a young child. You kind of keep to the wall and dart to the. All right. And as y'all make your way in, check something real quick. Okay. Faith, give me a wisdom saving throw,
Wisdom saving throw.
please.
Rip. Actually,
Okay.
is that if it's a charm effect, somehow I get advantage on it still? I'm not sure.
It is not a charm effect,
Okay, then never mind it then.
but you do feel it kind of feels strange to you, almost like someone's tickling your mind. You kind of shake your head instinctually, and you kind of feel like you're being watched.
Then she's still gonna keep going towards the far end of these bushes. And keep looking around, but she's gonna be extra cautious because she feels like she's being watched. So
Okay. Clara, give me a wisdom saving.
All right. $23. Nat 20, 23.
Yeah, natural 20. Good job. You feel it as well. It's kind of like something's tickling your mind. You kind of shake your head, and you feel as though something is trying to pry into it. Not assertively, not something hostile, but kind of pushing that thought back, like thoughts that are not your own. You kind of shake your head and you look, and towards the northeast. I'll ping on the map. Sort of around this area of, god damn it, around this area, you feel as though something's watching you.
And you just said it doesn't feel like it's a hostile observation.
No, you're not sure what it was. It felt like something was trying to pry into your mind, but resisting it and pushing that other being or whatever it was out. You kind of feel like you're being watched, however.
So what you're saying is they know I'm here, even if I feel that no one knows I'm here.
Just saying, you feel like you're being watched.
Okay.
You can take that as you may.
All right. I'll just hold position here until the group catches up.
Okay. All right. What are the rest of you for down below?
I was gonna keep moving on up to not catch up with Faith, but still like cautiously move since we haven't been getting any kind of.
I'll continue to fall behind slowly.
So
Okay.
I'll move up about. I can only move half, so I'll get about.
Okay. And Briar and Furion, you're following along?
Yep.
Furion?
You.
Alright. Okay. Lost my page. There we go. Okay. So as all of you begin to branch further into the forest, almost immediately, you see all the tree trunks around you, both in the in. Right? Did I just DC? Y'all, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hear you.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there. My roll 20 just like blinked out. You all see on all the tree trunks, both dying and the ones that are still kind of trying to thrive, flowers beginning to blossom and fungus beginning to swell upon all of these. Then all of you begin to hear this slight little innocent hee 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 hee. As now all of you begin to see a small bit of light begin to happen right into the center of the clearing. It begins to circle around the area, and as it's circling, this light kind of glittering to the ground as more flowers and more mushrooms begin to sprout upon the tree tops, the trunks, and of course any loose dirt around you. Around your feet as well, Clara, you begin to see more like wild mushrooms kind of sprout and pop as the button-topped mushrooms begin to kind of pop into place.
She thinks to herself, man, this is unusual. What can I tell about these mushrooms?
They just appear to give me a survival check. Sorry, give me a nature.
They appear to be a nature check.
Yep, they appear to be a nature check. Now give it. Roll, bitch. 5.
Yeah!
They don't. They might look at it.
Yep, I'll just leave it at that.
Okay. As more flowers begin to sprout right along Furion's feet, as the vines begin to kind of climb across his foot, but don't bite. Everything seems to be innocent for the most part.
Man, what is that? Is that a fairy of some sort?
Furion, you feel your cloak begin to flip upwards and over your head across your eyes as you're temporarily blinded from your.
You have to fiddle with it. I was gonna say he's gonna try casting detect magic again, but
Okay, as you're casting this, Briar, you feel something tugging at your hairband, kind of trying to.
You cut out what?
You feel something tugging on your hairband, trying to pry it off.
Do I see the thing prying at Briar's headband?
Nope. You see small little bits of light fragments kind of just glittering around, but
I will reach back and try to secure my hairband, push away whatever's doing.
you kind of like tug it back down, and you kind of feel like this slight little dink to the back of your neck, like something small kicked you. Fearing as soon as you kind of push back your cloak, it pushes back over your eyes again. And Zakara, you feel something start tugging on the back of your hair as your head kind of tilted back a little bit. Not enough force, but. But as soon as the detect magic spell goes off, you begin to see bits of illusion magic all around you, Furion. About 2 sources around you, and about 1 source around where Clara is.
in hiding. I'd sort of mutter quietly.
You hear a whisper in your ear. Oh, you first.
Briar is going to cast Thaumaturgy and make the sound of a thunder crack as far away as she can,
Okay.
like over here.
You kind of raise your hand, kind of close your eyes. The symbol on your shield begins to glow, and then you kind of bring your hand down as crap, as you hear about 4 or 5 tiny little shrieks. As Faith, you're the first to see the little bit of light source, kind of like screech to the. As you now see a little bit of light, kind of like glittering onto the ground, kind of shaking a little. I'm rolling some rolls real quick. 1 sec.
That probably having caught Faith completely off guard, even though she's expecting something silly. I'm gonna say she probably dove to the side from that.
All right.
Whoa! Something just flew on me. It's an eyeball with like a tear mark.
As soon as it happens, the concentration breaks on some of these things. As you begin to see these tiny little figures begin to pop up out of nowhere. It's just kind of most of them are now hovering the ground. One of which is hugging the back of your neck, Briar.
You said Briar because you cut out.
Yes, Briar.
Can I gently push it away?
Okay, as you kind of push it away, it looks up, and before you can touch it, it kind of flies back about a foot away from you. Was that magic? The voice says to you. Zakari, Zalgus, you both now.
She
Whoa,
shrugs.
what the hell?
She kind of folds her arm and kind of puffs out her chest. That was mean.
So was loosening someone's hairband.
Wasn't trying to scare you.
Do these creatures know we're all here at this point?
I mean, you can gauge that. As the one next to you, Claire, she kind of looks to you and then kind of flies off towards.
Well, guess there's no point in hiding anymore. So she'll just step out and say, "Okay, we wasn't sure who you were or what you were, so we had to be cautious. You understand?"
The one in the center kind of looks to Clara and then over towards her face. Ooh, the small one speaks. It speaks. Do you speak too, big one? Looking towards Faith.
Does Faith even see it since she did dive to the side from the fucking thunderclap?
You kind of like your hands over your head and you kind of like peek up and you look around and you see this fairy kind of.
Very kind of what?
Pointing at you. I'm going to turn off push talk.
Faith is gonna do a point to her own face while looking at it, questioningly.
Yes, you, the big one.
Oh, god damn it. And she'll just stand up and casually walk out of the fucking bush.
You seem to be of sound mind. Tell your friends they can come out. We won't hide if they won't.
Sound mind? But you know what, whatever. The jig is up, come on out.
She then kind of looks to you and flies up to you and puts her hands against your mouth. Shh, shh, shh. Silently. They're listening. They're always listening.
Who's listening?
Kind of looks around. You're not one of them, are you?
Them what? We don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
She just kind of looks to you. Her eyes kind of droop, and she then flies to her other companion over to the side. Nope, that was not supposed to get that big.
Holy shit.
She learned the Gigantos spell.
It's hard to grab small things. All right.
I'm
I
still
mean,
going
Jason
with-
know a lot about.
Giggity?
At any
What?
point did we hear one of them go, "E nature"? No one.
No.
crickets.
Oh, I was muted. I said I caught on. I said I got.
Okay, I feel better.
GG.
I mean, I know these are humanoids, but I'm still going with like floating eyeball with like a skinny arm and a big muscular arm.
I pictured something else, actually. I pictured these guys.
Zalgus, you've both seen and heard of these creatures before. You've seen them actually caged in some of in the great college of Zidane. These are pixies. They are known to be quite elusive. They're known to be quite very much like tricksters. They like to play pranks and jokes on things and people.
Hey, my kind of people.
But yeah, you kind of have some kinship to them in terms of how you all act. But for the most part, they're pretty innocent. They can have some very powerful magic if you lead them unturd.
Moment I realize they're pixies. Oh, yay! Oh, this is amazing. I love your guys' work.
Zalgus, do you know something that I don't?
Pixies. These are pixies.
Does that word ring anything in my head?
Give me a nature check.
Nope.
You've heard of pixies? What you've heard seems to be mostly that pixies are like these large creatures that have very big gnawing teeth, and they're bald and they're kind of ugly, and they kind of run around and stomp on things, try to eat people.
So, gotcha.
This is different than the pixies that I know.
What? Cute little woodland nymphs who, if left to their own devices and you piss them off enough, will let loose a whole range of magic?
I thought pixies were large beasts with teeth that eat children.
Clara attempts to poke
You're-
one while his back's turned.
You mean giants. That's completely opposite scale.
He puts a hand to his chin.
What'd you say, Clara?
Her eyes are kind of wide with a glimmer, and her mouth's a little halfway open as she slowly tries to poke one of them from behind.
They're about the
Their
size of
finger.
your arm.
Whoa! Really? Okay, I
yeah.
thought they were like Tinkerbell size. My bad.
No. These are technically considered tiny, not minuscule.
Oh, okay. Well, she tries to poke it in the arm, and then she says, "What are you guys? I've never seen anything like you."
Oh, right before that, I'm going to start making my way over to this group of pixies.
So would Furion have seen these before?
No, you've never seen these before. You've never even heard of pixies before.
Sakari will follow.
They're
You
not.
don't realize how long. Never mind.
Do what?
You don't realize how long Furion's been on land?
You haven't been on the land long enough to see pixies. They're typically pretty indigenous to forests, like deep forests, enchanted forests, typically. They're not very typical, unfortunately, for Furion.
Okay, well, I guess he'd start walking out, and I guess mentioning to the others that are closest to him. What the hell are those things?
Apparently pixies.
I walk back. I literally just got done saying they're pixies.
Yeah, what the hell are pixies?
Note to self, write a telegram. Anyway, basically, think little versions of Trickster me. Only with wings that live in the forest.
And less annoying.
Great.
And the voices in the wood. Screw you.
And they're
Clara,
kind of
as you
cute too.
poke one of the... Sorry, Briar, go ahead.
Never mind.
Clara, as you were poking one on the arm, it kind of like looks at you and kind of pulls her arm away from you. Ow, ow, ow! Back off there, little girl.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that hurt. I was just curious as to what you are. I've never seen it before, and it's so cute.
Kind of flies away from you towards Briar. This one's pretty.
Moment I get close enough to a pixie. Oh wow, pixies! I just gotta say, big fan of your tricks and work. I really.
Hands off, Bob, I'm married.
Well, hey, I was just saying I'm a big fan. Love your work.
Can't hurt a guy from trying.
Can we please remember why we're here?
Oh, right.
You're here to solve a problem? She kind of looks towards Faith. I glanced into you. You seem mission oriented.
Maybe you can help
That-
us.
Why do I feel violated?
She kind of sits on top of you, kind of crosses her legs. Oh, sweetheart, I haven't even near started yet.
Faith, they can get into your mind. They can analyze. They're good at being tricksy. My kind of people.
Yeah, watch this! As she goes over and she touches Zalgus on the shoulder. Zalgus, give me a wisdom save.
Okay.
Oh.
As she kind of touches you on the shoulder, she kind of smiles, with her eyes closed, looking up towards Faith, and then kind of looks back to Zalgus, blinks, looks him in the eyes, looks through her hand, pulls it off, kind of dry washes hands. That usually works.
I'm tricksy too. I just smile and hold up a thumbs up.
While you're both having this little conversation, the one that was next to Briar then kind of like gears up behind Furion. Give me wisdom, Furion.
Oh, great.
Yes.
That's better.
Great.
As Briar, you see the pixie begin to tap Furion in the back of the neck, and as soon as her fingertip hits Furion, Furion just disappears, and next thing you know, a fly buzzing around.
Hey, come on! What are you doing?
Yes!
As the pixie kind of like puts her hands to her mouth. Oh my!
What
Look at
did you
her
do?
I look over.
Yeah, he's like
and I see
literally
this.
buzzing in this pixie's face.
What did you say, Briar?
What did you do?
Didn't think it'd work. Didn't work on him.
Are you telling me that is Furion?
Kind of like you nods excitedly.
Yeah,
Change
he
him
buzzes
back.
excitedly.
He then starts giggling uncontrollably, just buzzing around.
Change him back.
But he looks to be less glum this way.
Sakari chuckles. Sakari chuckles.
Is this pixie still close to me?
Yeah, she's pretty close to you, about 4 feet away.
Is she wearing like a little dress or something?
Yeah.
Briar's gonna grab her by the back of her like dress behind her neck and just pick her up a little. Change him back.
She kind of looks to you. Fine. She then snaps her fingers, and then Furion lands on his ass on the ground.
Did all of my clothes and stuff change with me, or?
It changed with you.
There's
Okay.
polymorph, probably.
You're not naked, sorry.
Do we all see this?
Why not
I mean-
naked? Naked's better.
You saw Furion kind of disappear, and then about 10 seconds transpires, and boom.
Are you still holding on to her, Briar?
Claire?
Yes, I did not let go.
Okay, Furion is going to walk right up into her face and start pointing. What the hell was that for?
Tricks! I love them! I'm still whispering even in my excitement.
I mean, even Furion was trying to keep somewhat quiet, but it was like a enraged whisper.
Faith is face palming.
I look to.
She just shrugs, looking at Furion, smiling.
Clara says, Furion, I didn't know you could do such a cool trick. You're really strong, aren't you? You're really strong.
Pixie next to you looks back to you, Clara, and then flies up towards you at a very high speed and puts her hands over your mouth. Shh.
I look to the pixie that was next to me that I tried. I basically hold up a hand in a form of a high five. You guys are awesome. I love it.
The one next to you, Sakari, kind of looks to Zalgus. He's weird.
At this point, everybody's a little bit weird. Aren't they?
Anyway, I'm looking towards all of them. Yes, could you help us? We do have a mission we are on.
Why are you here? Why are you in the forest? All these people come in, we're chopping things down. They're all bad.
We're looking for people who've been kidnapped. Supposedly they've been taken by some Jacklewares, and we're trying to find them. Figure out what's going on.
Jackleware?
Jacklewares. Man-jackals.
Basically a walking dog.
Kind of looked at each other. Oh, we've seen those. We've seen those all around.
That's a lead. Do you know where they reside?
That's what we're hiding from. It's a game. We're playing hide and seek, except we're never seeking and always hiding.
That doesn't sound like a very fun game.
Bad things. They hate people. They hurt trees. They stomp down flowers and they eat our berries.
Well, it's a good thing that we're here then, because it's our job to take care of them. As he kind of cracks his knuckles
Meanwhile,
audibly.
I was just gonna say, meanwhile, Furion's gonna whisper a quick thanks to Briar and another glare to that pixie.
Are you still holding on to it, Briar?
Yep.
She's kind of starting to worm.
Briar just pats her on the head with her other hand and then whispers, "Go big next time," and then lets her go.
She then flies off, kind of looking back to you as she's flying away from you. She kind of moonwalks back and sticks her tongue out. Not actually.
Briar nods to Varian's thanks.
Clara starts mumbling with the hand over her mouth.
Just a moment. The things that the last pixie was complaining about, was it complaining about the Jacklewares, or was it complaining about the people?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Making sure.
So these Jackleware have been giving you problems too.
I'm not sure what they're called. Something has been.
As long as they look like a walking dog, we're here to clear them out and rescue any people that have been taken by them.
Are you going to take care of the ones that look like her? As they point to Clara.
And Clara kind of has a wide eye, surprise, pointing at herself.
What do you mean by that?
There's ones that come in, don't wear very much, not like pretty or anything. They wander around, they cut down trees and they stomp on things, and they start bringing. They have others that are following them. Wore what look to be brighter colored garments like what you're wearing. They usually follow these ones.
Can you use your power to show us what they look like?
They begin to kind of start thinking to themselves. And they kind of, you see three of them kind of huddled together, and they start conversing in whispers and things like that. Not really. But they look like her, and they point to Clara. And same kind of shape and size, but taller and sometimes shorter.
Humans.
And they carry these sharp tools and objects, like blades of grass that are stiff and heavy.
Oh,
Swords.
does Clara already know that they're talking about humans?
I mean, yes, all of you kind of can grasp talking about human.
My friends. And I go and I describe the colors of the mages that I was dealing with previously. I describe their colors and their garbs. Did any of them look like this?
Kind of look to each other, begin to talk a little bit more, and they kind of shake their heads vibrant. No.
Okay, good. You haven't dealt with them. Those are definitely bad people.
What
Some of
about a man who was picking some kind of herbs off the ground?
One's picking flowers.
Yes, one's picking flowers.
Everyone picks flowers. They destroy our homes. Grow these things takes years.
What happened to him?
Which one? There's so many.
The most recent one.
Kind of look at each other again. Give me a persuasion check. Fire.
Ha!
This is a 3. We kind of finish talking. They kind of look back to you. We're just gonna do the same. You're gonna come around, pick all our flowers, and destroy our homes like the rest of them.
No, we're not here to destroy any homes. We're only here to save people who've been taken by the Jacklewares, by creatures that wish to cause a lot of harm. They look like giant
Valgus. We're here to remove those people from their forest, are we not? She kind of looks towards you.
Are? Well, we would be removing them from the forest, yes.
It seems that these pixies also have a problem with them. But on the topic of people, I did not know that homes were being destroyed, lest any of us. I'll make it personal that this issue is brought up so it doesn't happen again. As I look to the one right in front of me.
Looks to you and kind of shakes your head. I don't believe you. You're scary looking. You look just like a few of them, hunched over.
And how about me?
Oh, I like you. You smell like rainwater on a clear dew day.
Then will you believe me when I say that we will remove these people from the forest?
Roll a persuasion. And while he's rolling that, I'm going to take a 2-minute break real quick.
Cool.
That's better.
Yay,
Boy.
somebody actually persuasive.
Excuse me.
I was talking about my own fail, dude.
It ain't all about you.
But I
Briar
had
is
persuaded them
canonically
too.
not persuasive, so
When
it
I had
fits.
talked to them, don't roll persuasion.
Ray didn't want persuasion from you, so shrug.
They said you look mean. That's probably as perfectly accurate to how you'd want them to react.
What race is Zakari again?
I'm an ASMR, so it looked like the least mean thing.
Yeah, but your ASMRs are still close to human.
You're also wearing a chain around your neck.
There is that.
Protects my neck from strangulation.
It does not.
I thought they were referring
By
to Briar.
giving a means to be strangled?
I mean, it doesn't hinder my breathing, but I mean, someone had to like choke me. They couldn't with this on.
Just slip a
Yes,
rope
I'm
around
perfect-
it, tighten underneath it, you're still gone.
Yes, I'm perfectly protected from being choked unless somebody grabs the other end of the
That's
chain
why they call it a
and loops
choker.
around
That's
it.
why they call it a choke.
Okay.
Don't worry,
I'll
we're
watch
all
you
immune to
work
being
the
choked
drag.
until we're choked.
It's gonna drag Zakari by the chain.
Somebody summon Orin to use rope on Zakari.
I have rope. And we have plenty of trees here, so this is how you tie a noose.
I'm back.
Yo.
Let's see. 17 persuasion.
Yep.
Okay, not bad.
I saw that.
Well, they come from all over the place. There's human village. There's village that people like you come from.
John points to the way you came from.
But these others come from deeper within our home.
Are they covered in fur? Have these... And I pull my hand out as if to make a snout. Has a face that kind of comes out like this?
Sometimes.
One of them kind of looks towards Faith.
I read your mind. You seem to have good intentions. Like you want to help, but not us. You want to help others.
Well, this is entirely just confusing me.
I think they're mean that you're wanting to, help out the village. But, first time meeting pixies, I think they're wondering how you feel about them.
She blows the tuft of hair that always droops down her face. I don't know. I'm just confused at all of this. Like... It's interesting you have all these weird little tricks and stuff, but like... I don't know why you're here?
They're here because it's their home.
To reserve, to grow, fight, if need be.
As anyone would do in their home, correct?
But you say you fight, but you didn't try to fight us as we got here.
She kind of pokes her head and then points towards your head.
Wait, do what?
She kind of pokes her head to her temple and then points towards Faith's head.
They choose their battles.
We read your intent.
Read your mind.
Well, if you read my mind entirely...
Whoever is proficient in Arcana, please, you can go ahead and roll if you like.
Not me.
Oh, in Arcana?
Leave it to Arcana
Yes.
to not be proficient in himself.
Not
Never
me.
is. 16. Furion, you know what they're talking about. You've heard of spells previously. Spells that allow you to detect thought patterns and things. This would be a detect thought spell.
Well, I guess he'd sort of partially say that out loud. Ah, detect thoughts, huh?
Well, either way, if you read my mind entirely, then you also kind of know that some of us are here to actually take care of her death. I guess you could probably know it by. I don't know, I'm just making this up on the spot.
You don't seem to be mean. You seem to want to help. We need help too. Can't just help the ones who are from the other place from points you all came from again. The village where you all are from. Help should be equal.
Well, help isn't exactly always given either. Unfortunately, the world isn't fair. Look, I do want to help because I'd rather take care of these things and get them out of your way. But I can't speak for what the village does after that.
It's come to my attention that maybe the village doesn't know what they're doing.
This grove is ours. We had this home first. And people like her keep coming in here and stomping all over the place, digging for things.
Have you talked to those people?
Kind of her eyes on you. No, we have other ways of getting our points across. As you hear
What
a
are
fairy
those ways?
around Clara. I turned one into an elephant!
Huh?
See, Briar?
I don't understand what just happened.
That's one way to get a point across.
What just happened? I don't know.
Nothing happened.
No.
I
feel like-
see.
So, is your only point to get things across turning people into elephants?
Kind of puts a hand behind her head and kind of giggles. It was funny, wasn't very effective.
Did they stay in elephants?
She shrugs.
Clara kind of sits on the log that's nearby with a kind of sad look, saying, I feel like I'm the picture on a wanted poster. I didn't even do anything. We're here to help.
Speaking of help, what help would you ask of us if we were to agree?
Tell her kind of stay out of our grove. We just want to grow and live and thrive and not have to have the risk of our home being chopped down every time we get going.
How far does your grove extend?
She kind of like points off further words and she kind of stretches out her arms until they're at full breadth from each other. Big, big, big! Big for us, not so big for you.
You know, there could be potential for talking about cohabitation. What could be suitable for one would be habitable to the other. Two groups in harmony, in essence.
My biggest worry is that even if we go back to town and tell them to stop coming into the grove so that these pixies can have their own living space, I don't know that they'll listen to us.
One of them comes and sits down on your shoulder, Clara. She kind of pats you on the side of your face.
Out of curiosity, can y'all actually help plant life grow? Maybe.
She kind of gestures around you as the mushrooms and the wildflowers that have sprouted up at your feet begin to now stop their growth. As you're now about knee high in new wildlife.
Well, I mean that might be a yes, but are you limited to mushrooms and other wild growth?
We plant seeds and berries. It takes the wild to grow, sometimes more than even our life.
Maybe we can talk to the town and work out an arrangement.
You could do that?
Maybe. I don't know if they'll actually go for it. Well, the main difference would be that it's kind of an offer of trade. Like, you guys would help their actual farm growth, but then they would be able to completely stay out of your grove. You know, a little bit of give, a little bit of take. I don't have, connections and power really in town, so I can't really say whether they'll go for it or not, but that's the easiest thing I can see happening.
And it opens up that cohabitation thing I was talking about. Here to where both the people of the village and the pixies can be, in essence, cohabitated with one another without any further risk.
The ability to live together.
Exactly.
If you help us, then we can. And she kind of looks around frantically, and she begins to inhale. She then runs. She begins to fly and dart off past Clara and rush. The rest of them kind of look around. They kind of focus in on those Kari, Dalgis, and Faith. In about literally less than 10 seconds, you see the glittering of light come soaring back. She then carrying 3 looks to be relatively good-sized spheres, and she just kind of holds them out towards Faith, kind of very 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 carefully trying to keep a hold of these things in her arm. Here.
She's confused, but holds her hand out for it.
As she drops 2 of the spheres into your hand, one kind of glances off the side of your palm and starts falling towards the ground. Here, we can give you these if you help. We have more for you and others if need be.
Can I actually catch the one that fell still, or?
Give me a dexterity check. Acrobatics. And yeah, you kind of swipe it up with the other hand. You now have 3 spheres. They're small in your hand. They're large in hers. They're kind of the size of maybe some marbles in yours.
What are they?
If you eat these, they can help you thrive. They taste really good. Give me a nature.
Give you a what?
Nature check.
Are they good berries?
I mean, you've not really seen these things before, but I mean, I just had you roll a check to bullshit around. They're good. You've never seen them before in your life, but you've heard about the magical essence of berries that fairies can typically grow and foster themselves. They are known to give you an entire day's meal just by consuming one. They also restore a little bit of life.
She'll add them to her pouch.
You can add 3 good berries. Character.
Thank you, but like, look, I'll talk to people in town, and I'll see if I can work something out. Would one of you mind actually, when this is all done, after we've dealt with the things we're here for, would one of you actually mind coming back with us so we can actually make this official?
An emissary of sorts.
Kind of look to each other, and they begin to converge and begin to talk to each other. About 30 seconds or so afterwards, he kind of flits back towards you. Maybe. But you have to solve the problems first. Talk later, action now.
Yeah, nothing's gonna be able to be done right now. We can't leave without actually finding the people that are lost and actually dealing with the Jackleware problem.
Speaking of, shouldn't we actually get a move on?
Well, we have the lead right here. But my compatriot is right. We can get this all sorted sooner. These Jackleware, do you know where they reside?
I don't know what that is.
It's the
Let's,
walking dogs. It's the walking.
let's
The
just-
ones that you said sometimes look like they have these, as I do the snout thing again.
Oh! Big dog thing.
Yes, those things.
They're kind of all over the place. There's not that many. But
Well, that's some good news.
maybe about... kind of starts counting you all. About maybe double of your numbers. That we've seen, at least. But they're clever. They know how to speak really good.
Do you have any idea whether you actually set up like a camp or anything? Like whether you actually usually go for nighttime or...
They change things around a lot. They typically like to travel from place to place. We've seen a bunch of them recently, about 2 moons ago.
Can you show us where that is?
He kind of points in the direction like over here. That direction. I'm not sure how far she kind of shrugged.
Well, that's a start. Alright. We should probably go ahead and check that then. Maybe we can find something from there.
All of you give me perception.
Alright.
Areas 2. There's a natural 20. All pretty good. 1% has a... Clara has a... Clara?
Yes.
Go ahead and give me
Perception.
Oh, I didn't hear it.
You're good. It bugs me that like avatar on this is shorter than everyone else's.
Oh yeah, it's not filled up. Fix that. It's also longer. If you noticed. Or I mean wider, I guess.
Y'all have some pretty good perception checks, actually. Okay. Whereas all of you kind of simultaneously, in one of the fairies, you all begin to look towards the direction which the fairies are pointing, and as soon as she kind of elaborates on where they're coming from, you hear a twig snap, like a branch kind of break.
Well, maybe that was our signal.
The fairy,
Coming.
The fairy kind of like tenses up, and she begins to hide behind Zalgit. The other one, and another one, seeing that, also moves behind Briar.
After hearing that, Twig Snap, I'm going to withdraw my axe and use Fiendish Figure.
Go ahead
Would this
and roll
be
for
the
that.
yeah, probably a proc for that.
Yeah, go ahead and roll for that this time.
I'll just roll with the Dreamer bot instead, so it doesn't use up spell slots again.
That's fine. When kind of out of the brush, all of you kind of now keenly looking at the source of this noise, you begin to see something emerge. You begin to hear more branches snap and break, the crunch of leaves on the earth, as you begin to see a man begin to emerge, kind of pushing past some of the brush.
Is that...
Faith draws her spear.
And I put my hand on the pommel of my sword.
Is that Dungham?
I'm just using it as a normal.
Oh,
My bad.
that's some old man. Is that some old-
Sasquatch.
Right. You see this older man. He kind of appears through the brush. He kind of pushes past it. He's looking around on the ground, and you see he's kind of dressed in like tatters. He's wearing no shirt. The pants are kind of cut off, ripped along where the knees are. He's wearing one glove that's mostly shredded. It looks to be a choker around his neck as well. Brown kind of leather, partially chewed up and things. And he's kind of moving with his head before his body, kind of trying to detect any areas around. He moves forward. He sees the group of you, and he kind of stops, takes like a reactionary step back. Fairy whispers into your ear, Clara. There's one! There's one!
It looks, she says to everyone in a low voice, it is a human indeed, but he looks like a feral. Someone who hasn't seen civilization in a long time, and
He's come to destroy the forest! He's come to destroy the clearing! Please, please! As the fairies then kind of collect themselves, and then they begin to lie off. As you hear a few flicking of fingers as 3 of them just completely vanish.
Invisibility.
I guess Clara says to the guy who's like, "Who are you? What are you doing here?"
The man kind of still reacting, just standing as still as possible. His hands kind of frozen in midair. He looks to your eyes. See his nose kind of ruffle. Who are you?
We were assigned from the city to take care of the... You know I have a problem pronouncing this.
Jackleware.
Jackleware.
Jackleware. We've been assigned from the local city to take care of the Jackleware problem in this forest, as well as rescue any people that have been kidnapped. Who are you?
Kind of looks around, his head kind of veering left, right. He kind of glances and takes a very good, hard look from all of you. I don't have my notepad that has passive insight.
You're cutting out.
I don't have my notepad that has everyone's passive insight.
Mine's 11.
I think Faith has the highest passive.
Passive insight is 15 for me.
11.
Passive insight is 15. Perception is also 15.
Okay. Briar, what was yours?
14.
14. Okay. Briar, Clara, and Faith. You get that this man, something's off. you can kind of pick up his smell from here. He looks like he's almost feral. His eyes have kind of like this silverish kind of hue to them, and they kind of narrowed down, like it's a lot of distrust. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm. What?
You keep cutting out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're starting to cut out too, Jason.
Maybe the Discord server's lagging, maybe?
I think it's just the voice you're doing isn't getting picked up on the mic right.
I got 42 ms on voice connected. Oh, that's back to green.
Maybe. I'll just put the microphone close to my mouth. How's that? Is that better?
Yes.
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
You just don't need it.
Right.
Who am I? I don't know any of you. I don't know what you're talking about. Leave.
We can't.
In character, or well, out of character, Ray, what I need to do is think about what I would potentially know from my history in regards to Jackleware, or any research that was done by the magic school.
Okay. Give me a nature check, Salgus.
Got it.
Drake, your mouth is like right next to my eardrum. It's so intimate.
I bet. 19. Okay, in your studies in the Mages Guild, you didn't take up anything magic about Jacklewares. But in your study of like monsters and other things, in the brief time you spent in a monster studying class, or maybe the 4 days you were there in that class at least, Jackalwares, I mean, they're known to be humanoid type creatures. They can stand on two legs, they can walk, they can run. Some of them can even speak. There has been slight rumors and myths that some of them can even shapeshift.
Okay. Guys, seriously, what are we worried about? I look to the others. This gentleman right here can't be what we're looking for. Not at all.
Can we sense the sarcasm?
Hold on, answer that.
Oh.
What are you all doing here? Why are you in the forest, without guide or hand? Are you looking for treasure?
Ooh, yes, we are. We're always looking for treasure.
No treasure here. Myth. Get lost. Leave the forest.
Well,
To explore.
I've also heard of plenty other myths. Many interesting ones. Very curious ones, too. Would you like to hear about one that I've heard of?
I'm not interested in your stories.
How about stories of a creature? Very curious creature. And while I'm doing this, I'll step forward a little bit, but I'm also going to be looking around as I...
Okay, as you kind of walk towards it, he takes a step back.
One that does some very interesting little bit of trickery. Very powerful, very strong creatures. But there's a myth in regards to them. That myth is that they can go from looking like regular old humans, or even, for all I know, my kind, to being bipedal dog creatures. Jackalwares.
Dogs. Kind of like sniffles a bit. What you on about?
What I'm on about is what would you, sir, be doing all the way in this forest, away from the village? And surely you've heard of the disappearances in town.
Faith, you are the only one to pick up on this, but you kind of hear movement off to the other side of this clearing. You can't pinpoint where exactly, but something larger than the pixies that left.
Is there a direction that I can find? Like not pinpointing, just like a direction. So
yeah, somewhere around like this area. You're not sure which dot or which ping is accurate, but
yeah, just
somewhere
towards the northwest.
Correct.
Okay. While Zalgus has the attention, Faith's gonna slowly make her way towards that brush, like coming around the rest of the group, and just mosey on that way.
Okay. While Zalgus having this conversation, Briar, Furion, Zakari, Clara, what are you doing?
At the moment, Furion's just waiting and watching.
Same.
Are there any trees nearby? I know this is an open clearing and most of them have been cut down, but what's the nearest?
There's still a few trees nearby. The ones that like over. There's a tree over here. There's a tree over here.
Okay. Clara will just make her way over to one and just stand way back here in case this guy turns hostile. There's plenty of distance to.
As soon as you start moving, his eyes leer towards you and they begin to narrow. I'd prefer it if you didn't move.
And then she looks back at him and says, I prefer if you tell us what you're doing here. We have business. You are unexplained. And
I'm answering. Nobody move.
Does she make it there before that, or does she stop midway?
No, I'm stopping before you get over there. You start around there, and you start moving, and immediately he starts saying that. So unless you're moving while he's saying stop moving,
she turns to him and say, "Why?"
Trust.
What do you say?
Trust.
Okay.
What should we trust about you, sir?
I don't live in the village because they do not welcome me there. I'm not good enough.
Good enough? You're speaking in riddles. Can you just give us a straight explanation?
Are you all here to exterminate the Jackalwares?
Depends. Are you one?
His eyebrow kind of raises. He stands kind of upright for the first time since the few, like a minute or two he's been here. I am not. Zalgus, give me a perception check. Okay, as soon as he says that, you kind of see his face kind of winces a little bit. Almost though he's in pain.
From what I remember, did they say anything about how the transformation was? Did they say if it was a painful sort of...
You don't recall.
Can
Okay.
I actively use all of my senses available to me to try to determine if there's anything else around us beyond this old?
I mean,
He said
you
stop. I mean, he said stop, so she's curious and she's looking around, trying to listen or whatever for any possible.
give me a perception check. Mind you, your DC is a bit higher given that you only have one eye. Okay, you're looking around. You're kind of sensing the environment around you. The wind's kind of blowing a bit harder now, as the little ounce of moonlight kind of dipping in from the canopies above you kind of shifts in, kind of giving a little bit of glancing amount of light around here. I mean, you can barely even see the man off in the distance. You have no light source, so you really only have smell and sound really to help you out.
And I was unable to determine anything because of the howling wind, you said?
Nothing that you can just pick up.
Well, she looks to everybody. I really don't trust this guy at all. I'm a little concerned.
Yeah, something seems wrong.
Let me come to you. We can talk about this civilly. He takes a few steps forward, which, by the way, Zalgus, you really can't see as well either because you don't have dark vision. So you're really only going by a voice here.
Gotcha.
Every time he advances, she takes a step back.
No, don't move.
And I tell him, and it's like, no, I don't feel comfortable around you. You don't expect me to stay put while you get closer. I don't trust you. You understand, I hope.
Clara, give me a wisdom saving throw. Okay, you kind of feel him glaring at you, like he's trying to study you. But you kind of look back and you can feel his eyes on you, but you can't see him, or even his eyes for that matter. I don't trust you either, so stay where I can see you.
I can see you just fine.
No, you can't.
I mean, all right. If his proximity closes within a point where I can clearly see him, may I?
The thing is you're saying that you're taking a step away when he's taking a step forward. You can't see him walk towards you.
Okay. As soon as I see him, can I then keep that distance?
Okay, but for you to see him, he need to be right in front of you.
Oh, crap. I don't like where this is going. Fine. I'll stay put.
I'm just saying, you don't have dark vision. There is no light source in here.
Gotcha. I'm staying put then.
Like, he sees you moving, but he wasn't sure why you're moving. But he's going to continue walking towards Zalgus.
If he passes that spot, I'm going to tell him to stop.
Okay, well, he's going right there.
Stop right there. You're not going to get any closer than that.
He kind of holds his hands up defensively. I merely come to speak to you.
Well, you can
On
speak from
whose
there.
accord?
There seems to be some hostility. Kind of sniffles a bit. There need not be. Have a home, place to bring you, and we can talk and have a meal.
We can talk right here.
He kind of looks around. It's not safe. Not out here.
Well, it's not safe listening to you either.
His
So
eyebrow
we'll
kind of
have to
raises.
compromise.
Yeah.
Does
Right.
he know that Furion and Briar are over here since we have not moved?
You don't know.
Okay. Well, Furion's gonna take a hesitant few steps forward, cautiously, to see if he notices.
Are you stepping out of the brush?
No, he's staying in the brush.
Okay. I mean, you see his eyes kind of still darting around between, like, Zakari and Salgus and Clara and Faith.
Let's say because he's going to keep moving up a little bit. And he's going to get right here and stop, right in the brush.
You see his eyes kind of collectively look upon you. He kind of recoils a bit, taking like one step back upon you. You kind of reaching the edge of the brush.
Do I see any magic on him?
You don't see any magic on him. Not detect magic.
Hmm.
We're all here to exterminate a problem, right?
And what if we are?
I know what problem you speak of. And this time, Faith, you can now see his face kind of wincing in pain as he's talking.
Faith is gonna move there still. Even against his orders to stay still.
He's still, he's like leering at you. I simply mean to talk. Do not know exactly.
Talk and quit beating around the bush.
And stop moving for that matter. She chimes in.
Faith, you're picking up more movements from the bushes. And that's movements plural.
I'm guessing you have friends.
Friends? What friends? You see his face kind of like wincing more. Almost like his entire face kind of like leers a bit to the left, as it seems like it really, really hurts him to talk.
At that point, yeah.
Alright. Saugus, you can't trust him.
As Briar begins to step out, his eyes look towards Briar now. He takes another step back. He's now about 5 feet back from where he was. How many more of you are there?
That's for us to know. How many more are there of you?
There's just me.
Face
You
shakes
see him
her
kind
head.
of sees kind of his knees start to like almost falter from that.
Can I please roll a medical check to see if I can tell what's wrong with him?
Yeah, give me a not medicine, give me a perception check. 22, good roll. You're kind of looking at him. He seems to be pretty banged up, scraped up. You see cuts and scratches along his arms and his legs, across his face, a few scars here and there. A very big, large scar kind of going into his hairline, where he's not actually growing hair over that scar at all. He looks like he's been living out here for a while. Nothing that seems to be like life-threatening. You don't see any elements of like broken bones or anything else like that. As a matter of fact, he actually looks to be pretty well built.
You are quite injured.
Comes with roaming the woods, I'm afraid. There are many beasts out there, and many people like yourselves who don't look too kindly upon strangers.
Just looking at the guy, I'm feeling suspicious about him.
You can't see him.
Okay. Well, Okay, hearing the guy and all he's saying, I'm getting suspicious of him. The way he's talking. Can I... Especially since there seem to be some false platitudes with what he's saying. Can I try to figure out if he's being legitimate with me?
Give me an insight check.
Okay.
If you allow me to approach, I could take a look at your wounds.
No, I'm fine.
Sure.
I-
Now you want to be there. What changed? Before you were all wanting to come over to us.
Just in a neutral zone of introductions. Please, I have a home. We can talk there. Don't want to stay anymore out here. Before you answer that, Zalgus, your insight, he seems to be really, really suspicious. But you didn't need a roll to get that, though.
But this just confirms it
Oh yeah,
more and more for me.
yeah.
If you are inviting us to your home, yet you will not allow me to approach to see your injuries, it's clear that even speaking is causing you harm.
Even better, I have a feeling that if we come to your home, it won't just be us. We'll have friends. Fortunately, they won't exactly be the very talkative type.
Faith and Briar, you see his eyes kind of dart around you all, kind of like, just for like a brief respite of a second, his eyes kind of leave Fury and look more to his left, and go from Faith over to more to the right. You kind of see his eyes just kind of flash over those places briefly.
If somebody is hurting you, you can tell us.
Or are you just being used as bait?
But
Your friends are here, aren't they?
I do not know what you. And he's trying to get this out, but you see his face kind of like his teeth kind of like grinding now. Or you don't, at least, Zalgus, but the rest of them do. But you can definitely tell he seems like he's in pain as he's responding.
I look up to the sky. Can I tell anything about the sky itself?
I mean, the sky is completely covered by trees, like foliage, leaves. You can't really see into the sky. As the wind's kind of wafting, you catch glimpses of a full moon.
Oh. Any of those legends, did they say anything about full moons in transformation?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Faith gets close to Zalgus and whispers to him. I'm pretty sure we're already stuck in an ambush. There's definitely movement still coming from the west of us. If I recall correctly, from before, the Jackleware were taking control of the rats' minds, so there's nothing against them taking control of people's minds too, right?
No, but there's also a thing with the legend. One in regards to Jacklewares being able to metamorph from a human to their animal face.
But would they call
I have
him...
a feeling this guy's about to transform.
And here I thought it was just he was under mind control.
No, I think he's one of them. He just doesn't know it.
All right. If you do not wish to come to my home, then allow me to leave.
Whoa. Easy. Not getting away that quickly.
He kind
Besides,
of backs up slowly.
first off, I can't trust anybody without a name.
My name?
Yes, your name. What you're identified as.
Hmm. My name is Henry.
Henry. Okay. That's better.
He's kind of looking towards Faith as she's kind of drawing a bit closer. Takes another step back.
I can assure you, Henry, that right
Well,
now.
stop there. Give me. Actually, no, I'm not going to need that at all. As soon as you start talking, Clara's beginning to move towards like the brush, and as soon as she gets near it, Furion and Briar, you hear a very loud snarl, and then. I get
Advantage.
Not gonna lie, that is a cute little icon.
Oh shit.
That is
Use
a
that fast.
that is a 23 to hit you, Clara.
Miss. I mean hit.
Oh shit.
Okay, that's going to be 3 piercing damage. As soon as you approach this bush, you then see something leap out and lunge onto you, and then grab onto your arm and kind of shake and snarl as you then kind of kick it off almost instinctually. It surprised you, and as soon as that happens, the old man kind of takes like another step back, a very large leap back, and he then whistles. I need all of you to roll initiative.
Got it. And was it Henry who whistled, or was it the...
It had to be Henry.
Henry.
Sir Henry,
Awesome.
motherfucker.
Called it.
God damn. You do that real quick. Do. Okay. Type in initial add, please.
Join, you mean?
Doesn't mean just join.
That too. Whatever.
Damn it. Alright, I'm doing something wrong.
Are you doing...
Are you doing Inish join?
Nope. Yeah, I forgot to join.
My bad.
Some pretty solid initiatives.
By the way, these are the same creatures that we met at the mill, right? At least the one that
attacked
the one
you,
that
you've
jumped
never
on
seen
me. Never seen before.
The one that attacked you? No, you've never seen. Faith, what's your initiative?
19.
Zalgus?
11.
Kari?
18.
Ryer and Clara, what's your initiative?
A badass 10.
Right.
Sir Henry, motherfucker.
Okay, Furion, you're up first. You see this almost, it would be almost cute if it wasn't foaming at the mouth, very rapidly biting onto Clara next to you. She kind of screams out, and then the loud whistle from Henry, and he takes another step back, and you see him draw out a gigantic scimitar from behind his back. What do you want to do?
Shit. Okay, well, first I'm gonna take, like, a step back to here. And then I'm going to use Eldritch Blast on this.
On the thing that Clara?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And if it hits, I'm gonna knock him back 10 feet.
Okay, 14 does. How much damage did you deal?
7.
7. Okay. As you kind of rear up your hand, pulling out your own weapon, a coalescence of purple energy begins to kind of manifest in your hand, and then zoom out, and then burst upon this being as it blasts it back in. Is actually as soon as it ripples into his skin, it kind of goes right through him, singeing and charring it. Here, like topples off to the ground.
That feel when you couldn't tell if it was Ray making noise or his actual dog.
Right? That's how good it
And that's it.
Okay. And these. Okay, Faith, you're up.
Alright. Well. What did you think we were playing with you for this? She fusses as she rushes him. And then she's gonna clock him over the head. 1 second, you said? Sorry, I have like screeching going on in my ear.
You're good. Giving you more vision because you were walking closer. As you begin to approach, you then see more of these dogs begin to pop out of the bushes and then start to run towards you. But go ahead and roll to attack.
Yep. Did we ever figure out a way to make sure the weapon goes through versatility yet?
I have not figured that out. Apparently, that is not an option on there quite yet.
Alright, still separate rolls then.
Yeah, my bad.
That's alright. 9 to hit.
9 misses.
Alright, well then we go into bonus attack.
Go for it.
Another 9, so no.
Yeah, 9 misses. As you kind of rush towards this man, Henry, taking out your spear, you then kind of thrust it forward as he kind of nimbly sidesteps. The decrepit man you actually saw approach is actually quite nimble on his feet, and upon looking into his eyes, he looks back to yours almost with fear in them, as you take your palm and try to push it to his chest, but he kind of deflects the blow. What else?
Alright, well, I'm done.
Okay, Kara, you're up.
Alright. So, seeing that now you've engaged in fight, the rule about casting 2 spells is that one has to be a cantrip. Right.
Yeah, so if you can cast a bonus actions level 1 through 2 spell, whatever, and then you can bonus action.
Oh, okay, so the cantrip has to be a bonus action?
No,
Or can
it can be vice versa.
Okay. So for my... First of all, looking at that somewhat able-bodied dude over there, I'm going to cast Hex onto him, which doesn't have to roll a save, it just happens. I place a curse on him.
Okay, he is hexed.
And for my cantrip, I'm going to cast Light on my shield.
Okay. As Zakari lunges out his hand and begins to kind of pull his hand up from the ground, his fingertips kind of shaking, as you see the greenish energy begin to swell underneath this enemy's feet, begin to climb up his legs. As you see actual physical manifestation of hand, spirit, begin to climb up, and he looks down, and almost in fear, kind of shrieks out as he's now cursed. And as he's doing so, Zakari just taps his shield against his weapon, and then shing, light out again. all you can see with the radius that Sakari's light spell is.
And
Is that 30 or 60?
light, I believe, is 20 feet. Yeah. This cone.
Okay, it's bright for 20 feet and then dim for.
Yeah.
Technically, you have 40 radius.
Oh, so should I make another aura that's like darker?
Yeah, you can do that. Smart idea.
It's 40.
Okay, so you all have that much vision for the dark vision. That'd be Zalgis and Clara.
And Sakari is going to move his. He's just gonna move 20 feet in front of him. Wearing the face of fellow man was your first mistake. That'll end his turn.
All right. At that point, that out of the bushes, Zalgis now with Zakari's light spell active. You see something out of the brush begin running. Going to lunge attack.
Oh shit.
Okay, that is a 13 to hit.
Miss.
Okay. So as this dog-like creature comes out and then lunges towards you, you then kind of instinctually just kind of look like and you then take your hands, kind of push it away, kind of bearing down. You just get it off. Briar, you're up.
I'm going to move up a little bit. And I'm going to cast Bless on Furion, Zach, and Faith.
Left. Okay, as Briar being into Zakari's light, kind of raises up her hand elegantly as Shun, both Furion, Zakari, and Faith, you feel a bit lighter on your feet. More God's blessing is upon you. God, I'm not sure of, but there. What else are you doing?
That's it.
All right.
Remember, all three of you roll a d4 to every 20 roll you do, basically.
Gotcha.
Okay, so gonna move right there next to Faith, and is going to lunge at attacking with tactics. It has advantage, and that is a 20 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay. All right, that is 4 damage. You piercing.
All right.
That's going to end its turn. Zalgus, you're up.
Alright, I'm gonna attack with both the rapier and with my short sword.
Okay, go for it. Rapier
13.
hits.
Alright, 10 damage.
10 damage, that does it. As you plunge your rapier into its actual, through its shoulder blade, right through its collarbone, piercing down to it. You think you hit its heart as you hear as it reaches out, falls limp to the ground.
Wow, that was nifty. And then what I'll do is, can I do a quick measurement?
Yeah.
I'll move in behind Sir Henry.
Okay.
And then this is going into a bush, right?
Oh, you're flanking anyways with Faith.
Oh, okay.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of in the shrubbery.
Can I still do a? Since I hadn't done my cunning action or a bonus action, can I go ahead and use my cunning action to hide?
I mean, you can do it.
If-
Keep in mind, he is literally right next to you, so DC is going to be pretty high.
Or
Just to see what happens.
Go for it.
are you just
Were you
trying to
gonna
get
say
your sneak attack bonus against him? Is that what
That's
you're
what I
trying
thought
to
he was
do?
going to do.
Because I found this out. Apparently, anytime there's an ally within 5 feet of an enemy, you still get your sneak attack bonus.
I'm just basically stuffing. What's the saying? Basically hedging my bets.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
I thought.
I'm sorry.
I thought sneak attack procced whenever you have advantage on an
It
attack.
does.
Oh,
It might be a
It does.
specific build of rogue that gets the sneak attack bonus when any ally is in 5 feet of the target.
That's when you're doing ranged attack.
Oh, is it? I don't.
Yes.
It used to come up a lot in Thursday's games.
I know. I just want to make sure. And 14 for my stealth check.
Okay. That is noted.
Alright.
Alright, Clara, you're up.
She tells the guy, old man, this little ambush stunt's the last thing you will ever live to do. Not a smart move. And then she'll use the hex ability does what again?
Oh, I was waiting to get that because I actually left out a part. One of his abilities gets disadvantage with ability checks made by that chosen ability. So I would choose like strength, dex, con, whiz, intelligence. For him, I'm gonna pick. He has disadvantage on dexterity.
Dexterity. Okay, disadvantage on dexterity checks.
And its effect is that whenever I deal damage to him, he'll take another d6. But that's just for me. That's what
It
you're
only affects Sakari.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, she's going to use her sharpshooter perk and do the
Okay.
-5 with a plus.
You're taking -5 to your attack. So you know how to make that roll, right?
Yeah, got it.
You are making it with advantage, however.
Okay.
Are people
So-
next?
All right, so that would mean exclamation point attack longbow space ADV and then
I'll type it out.
I think I got it.
Oh, you
I
said
just-
-5.
The mouse
Yeah,
in there.
Okay.
Yeah, that's correct. I copy and pasted that formula from the last time I used it at the
Yeah.
silo.
That
I
is
just
accurate.
added advantage.
Can you
Good.
send me that? It's like paste.
For the -5, whatever it is.
No, for the whole adding like other rolls to it, advantage, all the modifiers I can add to something.
Oh, okay, never mind.
Well, that might help.
As you kind of kneel down, taking out your longbow, stretching your bow arm out long as you can, you knock your arrow true as it soars right past Briar, past L, and then lands right into his pelvic bone as he's intercepting both Faith and Zalgus. And he then squeals out almost like a whine, like a dog's whine. He screeches out, still standing.
Take that,
She just shot him in the dick.
pelvis.
They don't have.
What else are you doing, Clara?
Am I next to a tree, or is there a tree around here, or whatnot?
Tree where that
There's a
dead
tree.
jack.
All right. Would you consider it a bonus action to use the grappling hook to attempt to climb, or is that an action?
That would be an.
Okay. I'll just end my turn there.
All right. It is that man's turn next, then. Okay. Let's see. Okay, it is going to attack with pack tactics with its scimitar. It is going to attack Faith. No, it can attack Zalgus. Zalgus.
Okay.
Zalgus tried hiding. And no, he sees you. He has perception.
Okay.
Come on, Sentinel!
He's going to attack Zalgus.
Alright.
roll. That's going to be a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Already missing Sentinel.
Right? Lucky you. I got a good roll to hit. I got a bad roll for damage. That is 3 slashing.
You said 3?
Yes, 3 slashing damage. As kind of taking a look at Faith now, dodging his attacks, kind of sees Zalgus like kind of run up behind him, sneak behind the bush, as he takes the scimitar and just kind of slashes through the actual brush, slashes across the shoulder of Zalgus. Jackal runs in, go help bolster. The other 2 is going to attack you as well, Zalgus.
Nat what? You cut
Natural
out.
20.
Okay.
Okay, that is going to be 5 damage to piercing Zalgus.
Ouch. Okay.
Pact active gets advantage. All right. Top of the round. Once. Right. Okay, Furion, you're up.
Okay, so. I guess he's just gonna attack the dude.
Okay.
Ray, you're
Uh,
aware that we can see the tokens that are on the map, right?
Yep, I know.
Okay, just make sure you.
And they
you're
are
not
aware
hitting them.
too. No, oh, that's right. I have Fog of War. I need to.
Sorry, Furion. Just wasn't sure if you wanted to hide those or not. Like in
Yeah, no, I forgot that I Fog of War on, and now Zalgus see further. Not Zalgus because he is that dark. What are you attacking with, Furion?
Eldritch Blast. I was gonna do the thing.
Will it hit? Okay, and it will not hit. Really?
Damn it. Even with the 1d4.
You rolled a 1 on that too.
I know. Curses.
Okay, are you moving or anything?
Curses. Hurrah.
No. He's gonna stay right there.
Rip.
All right. What are you saying, Faith?
Nothing, just extra commentary.
Okay. As you now are engaged with these 2 jackals and the man, you see approach from the forest on 2 legs, wielding scimitar and very long claws. Wearing about the same garment man is wearing. You see 2 more of the creatures you saw last night. Begin to walk and descend out of the forest.
Now that's an intimidating icon.
Is it the
They're like donkeys.
is it the silver one from before? You were kind of cutting out.
With, like silver eyes, you mean?
Yeah. Or I don't know if I could see that, but I mean,
You could use your action to make a perception check if you'd like.
I didn't know if I caught it offhand or not.
Yeah, not a thing.
All right.
Donkeys with pecs.
Keep your eyes out. We have more coming from the forest. As then she'll swing at the old man again.
Okay. Attack with advantage.
Damn.
26 does hit.
All right, I have to
Versus damage.
reroll damage. For 10 damage.
10 damage. Pretty good. He's still standing. So that as you kind of take the spear out and you then thrust it forward, it lands right into his side. He's, ah! What's he doing?
As I'm still going to do my bonus attack against... Let me do... Kind of want to kick the shit out of him, but at the same time, I'm going to kick one of the wolves instead.
Using flurry of blows? Regular bonus.
Actually, no. Yeah, I will use flurry of blows for this situation. And I'm going to go for one for him, one for... Well, we'll see how the first one lands.
Which one are you attacking?
I'm attacking him again.
Okay.
For a 22 to hit that time. For
22 hits.
7 damage.
As you pop him once into the face, his nose is now streaking with blood. He is still standing, but he looks a bit more haggard.
Then he's going to eat the extra attack too then. If we can just take him down for a 21 to hit for 5 more damage.
5. So goddamn. Is 1 HP.
Rip.
As you kind of pop him into the face, give him the bloody nose, you then kind of take the elbow and then side swipe him right into the cheekbone. As you feel his jaw then snaps and breaks. His mouth is now held agape. Movement?
No, because I'm just going to get sacked if I move.
Hear ya. Alright. Kara, you're up next. Briar on deck.
Alright. On when it says on my spell subsequent turn, does it mean my turn after this one, or
It means that after that, that's your previous turn.
okay, after my okay. Kara is going to head up next to Faith and take a swing at him. At buff old man.
Do not have advantage.
Yeah, I know. But I can... So it's... a... battle axe. And then the modifiers for this would be...
Charisma, I believe. +4, right?
No, I mean like the +4 from Bless.
Yeah, it's just 1d4.
Dash B and then space
1d4.
Dash B
Dash
space
B.
1d4.
So so exclamation point A battle axe. Oh, you just type that.
That's for the blessing.
B, and then to add the 1d6 of damage.
It'd be dash D space 1d6.
Yes, after.
Okay.
B is for bonus to hit, and then D is for damage.
Oh, I miss anyway. But it went weird.
Okay, well, you miss anyways. As you begin to run forward, taking out your battle axe, and you then swipe down, and his reaction from taking face blows to the face. He kind of ducks down, kind of holds his nose as you try to cleave off his head, and it swings and whiffs.
I mean that'll end my turn.
All right, gotcha. Hey, the Jackleware is now beginning to move in. They're going to move down, and upon seeing Zakari now join the fray, it is now going to go in, and it is going to use its sleep gaze on you, Zakari.
Of course.
But it doesn't work. No, give me a wisdom saving throw. My bad. I forget it's not universal. It's only from specific ones.
Oh, I wish it
Give
was
me a wisdom
universal.
saving throw.
Fail again. All right, asleep. Yep, there you go.
As it kind of runs up to assist, it looks right at Zakari. As you catch a glimpse of his eyes, you see it flash as you then fall down to the ground and collapse.
Again.
Here we go again.
I hate reruns.
You're a snicker in the distance.
I wish it was universal, because it would have been great if he looked at me. It's like, what? Not gonna work twice, but well.
Okay. As the second one then approaches, as it's going to look towards Zalgus. Give me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
I hate you.
Okay.
It
11.
passes. Yeah, it passes.
Yay.
Yay.
As it looks towards you, you see the shimmer in its eyes, and you kind of feel like your head begin to spin as you kind of grab onto your head and shake, and you are immune. It kind of snarls.
None of that. None of that.
Looks to the jackal. Round them up. Ryo, you're up.
Hex would go away, because it's concentration.
That it is. Yeah, Hex is gone.
Have another spell slot, though.
This is not counted as a short rest. All right.
No, I mean, I have 2 spell slots. I could use the other one for it again.
Briar, what's up?
I'm gonna walk straight up here and slap Sakari in the back of the
Back of the head.
That is the best action you could ever take. I love you.
I'm using my action to wake him up, and I am smacking him in the back of the head.
Good. Make sure you hit him really hard.
Is it? No, never mind.
No damage, just smacking you.
Yeah, you wake up effortless. You just kind of like smack, and you're like, huh? And you get back on your feet. You're up and about.
I've slept long enough.
That's it for me.
You're done for like 3 seconds.
You know what he means.
All right, Zalgus, you're up.
Attacking with the rapier, and I'm gonna stab Henry here in the back.
Okay, roll to hit. Advantage.
Yes!
You didn't need
13 damage. Yeah, that'll do it. As he's kind of recoiling from Faith, his head bends down, you kind of grab onto his shoulder, lurching up from your, well, not anymore, hidden spot. You take the rapier and pull his shoulder back and thrust it right through his chest. Faith, you see the pointed end of the rapier as blood kind of spatters onto your face a little bit. As you then kind of take the rapier out and push him to the ground, he is dead.
You're gonna try to kill someone. Actually do it, asshole. I then look over to one of his pet wolves, and I'll just follow up with attack.
Okay, what?
What?
Oh.
Do not have advantage on that, though. Fine.
And then I believe it would be whenever I roll the minus D, when I put minus 3 to take away from my damage. Because if I'm doing with two-handed fighting, I lose the additions to damage, if I remember correctly. So it'd just be a flat D6 if it were to hit. So it'd be minus D, minus 3 for me.
I believe so.
Wait, what?
19? Hits.
19 hits, yes.
Alright, so 3 damage, piercing.
3 damage. Okay. As the seemingly leader goes down, and take your short sword and can kind of slash out as it hits the jackal right across the face, yelps out. It is dead.
Wait, what? It's dead?
No, I said it's not dead.
Oh. That not literally bleeped out, so okay.
You're good. What else are you doing?
Short of moving, can't really do much, so I'm just gonna hold here.
Gotcha. Alright, Jackal next. Faith is up next. Going to continue assault onto Faith. time with advantage. Pack tactic. 4, 6. That's gonna be a 7 to hit.
A 7?
Yep.
No, 7 does not hit.
Okay. And it is going to move over here. In its turn. Laura, you're up.
All right, just gonna go ahead and do another sharpshooter shot at the Jackleware. Okay, I must have said it right. Next to Fate.
Okay. Jackleware next. Gotcha. Go ahead and roll to hit. Okay. 14 hit. 9 damage. Woo.
Stare at this.
Okay, as you knock back your arrow again, still from the brushes, it knocks right past Briar's left side this time and rears into the Jackleware's shoulder, plunges backwards, and it gets back up and looks towards the source and snarls at Clara.
Yeah, he brushed it off like a champ.
What else you-
I'm gonna end my turn.
Okay, gotcha. Next, Fury, and you're on deck. As this jackal is going to attack Zalgus. This time without advantage. No longer in pack tactic.
Okay.
As an 11 to hit.
Nope.
Okay. It lunges out, and you kind of like use your swords, you kind of parry. Its teeth grip onto your blade, you push it back. Alright, top of the round, Fury, and you're up. Faith on deck.
He's gonna use Eldritch Blast on that Jackleware to the
Okay.
left of Faith.
And roll to hit. "24 hits. 4 stand."
Can I, again, I was gonna try it before, can I knock him back into the Jackal behind him?
I think there's something that's situational. There's something behind,
Let me
That-
see if I can find it.
but let me check. Put in your character.
I figured he'd stumble over the shin high wolf behind him and fall down prone.
It doesn't say what happens for repelling blast from Eldritch Blast hits with that. It just says knock him back 10 feet.
Yeah, it just moves him through. It doesn't knock him into it. It just moves him through the other one. Okay, so yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
The rule of moving around other creatures, you can move through a non-hostile creature's face.
Does that provoke attack of opportunity in any way? From moving out of my threat range?
I doubt it. It wasn't an intentional move.
Correct. You're effective. But nevertheless, as you blast, your foolish energy begins to swell up. You then plummet it forward as it strikes the Jackleware. And Faith, as you're kind of engaged with this thing, kind of fist out, you're kind of bouncing around, and then it's just like it's starting to lurch out towards you, and then it juts backwards, like right over the Jackleware, kind of tripping and then stumbling and then getting back up on.
I just pictured this purple laser beam or something hitting it and it'd go flying backwards.
See Fearing kind of give like a 2-finger salute to you off in the distance.
No, I was thinking a cheesy, like, sparkling smile thumbs up somehow.
Jesus Christ.
No, I think the salute with like a smart grin is a little more accurate. And he's gonna stay here.
All right, Faith, you're up. Sakari on deck.
All right. Is the Jackleware here like actually covered in brush at this point, or is it cleanly seen?
You see it.
Like I'm saying, is it? Do I feel like it's under cover of some kind?
Maybe partial cover, not solid cover, just
Okay.
partial cover in terms of vision.
Yeah, but it wouldn't affect range attacks then. Still then.
No, it wouldn't affect your range attacks. You can see its solid form where it's at. These aren't going to stop where you.
I was thinking of scorching raying it, but no, never mind. I'll hold off on that thought. I'll just move into position here, and then assault the first Jackleware with my spear to begin with.
Okay, hit.
Let's see.
24 hits.
24 for 7 damage.
That'll do it. As you plunge the spear right into its chest, it kind of rears down. It's still suffering the blast from Furion's Eldritch Blast. As its hands kind of start clawing up towards you, you then kind of twist the spear as the final move, and its arm just flops down to the ground.
And then we're gonna flourish with a flurry of blows to follow it up.
Okay, on what?
Well, the first doggo. For a 12 to hit.
12 is its AC that hit.
Okay, so 7 damage from that one.
Dead.
And the second hit will hit the other one.
Fourth.
For a 28 to hit for 8 more damage.
Had 2 HP left. Well. As Faith just kind of not single-handedly, but maneuvers around and kills one, then hops the other, and then swerves around and kind of roundhouse kicks the last jackal. Knocked about 5 feet away. All dead. Leaving the one Jackleware by itself.
With the end of that, she's going to point her spear at the last one. As of kind of telling it to bring it on. That's the end of her turn, though.
Okay. Kara, you're up.
I say we capture this one. If they can talk, they can tell us. As I shall use my other spell slot to cast Hex on this one. Dexterity's getting hit with this.
Your dexterity?
Yep, he's getting Dexterity debuffed.
Okay. What else are you doing?
I will use my... Well, I can't non-lethal spells.
No.
But I don't want him to look at me. So I'm thinking...
Don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
So for my
I'm
action,
not pretty.
I'm just gonna Eldritch Blast.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say for my action, I'm just going to cover my eyes.
I'm just gonna
Oh,
Eldritch
go
Blast them. Now, is it only rogues that get sneak attack with ranged attacks when they're...
Yep.
Okay.
Only rogue gets attack, period.
Yeah. So I'm going to cast...
You wish you were cool as Algus, other Z person. That's
Ouch.
it, you're Z Warriors.
Cast
I
Eldritch...
don't object.
Go team 3-star.
Go Team 3-star. B1D4.
Team 3-star!
Never mind. He dies.
You think that's gonna kill him? No.
No.
Alright, as you kind of just bend down, kind of leer back at the Jackleware.
Wait, hold on a second. I forgot Hex does Does the extra d6 count towards all attacks or just physical attacks that I
Crit
make?
should also affect any die roll.
Okay.
And you forgot Hex, so go ahead and roll 2d6.
Is it 2d6? Oh, it's just 1d6.
It's double,
Oh, yeah.
because you got a crit. The beauty of Hex.
3.
Okay, so 17 damage. Whew. Or that's the most damage dealt, aside from when faced Scorching Raid, the last thing.
We don't talk about that.
We don't talk about.
I can still smell the charred flesh.
As once again the greenish hands begin to kind of climb up the Jackleware's legs and looks down, almost frightened at what's happening. And as it's distracted, boom, hits it square into the middle of the chest, knocking it down and kind of toppling over itself. It climbs back up and looks towards you. Knock, knock, it's Knuckles.
I'm like, Sonic, I don't chuckle. I'd rather flex my muscles.
Are you done?
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Alright. The Jackleware, now seeing that it's clearly outnumbered now, and everything else is going on, it is first going to look towards Faith. I need you to give me a wisdom saving throw.
Out of curiosity, is... Well, you know what? I'll go ahead and just do this first.
It is not a magical charm. You're immune to charm if you're not affected. But you pass it.
No, I have advantage against being charmed, and magic can't put me to sleep.
No. Advantage. Yeah, you advantage charm. Saving throw, I mean, but you pass it anyways.
Yeah, like, I'm not going to bother rolling.
Right. It kind of leers towards you, kind of leer back, and kind of recoils. It is going to move. About here, it is going to continue on into the dark, not out of your range.
I can't hear you at all.
So not out of, it doesn't leave out of face range. Definitely it's out of Zalkin.
Is he breaking up like crazy for anyone else, or
Yeah, he's breaking up pretty bad for me, too.
every other word is not being heard?
Is this better?
Probably.
Probably. It's either yes or no.
Well, you said it was such a short sentence we couldn't tell.
You had only said like 2 words, so we couldn't tell.
Okay. I said it runs off into the distance. Faith, do you still have eyes on it, given your dark vision and given its proximity? The rest of the people here do not see it.
Okay.
Okay, Briar, you're up. On seeing this thing is fled after taking a huge hit from Zakari, seemingly you're left alone.
Can I still see it?
Is it within 60 feet of you?
Yeah.
Then, okay, yeah, my bad, you can't see it still. It's still fleeing. Right at the very edge of your vision.
What is the rule now? By asking questions on your turn, nobody can answer until their turn?
They can use a reaction to answer on their turn. On your turn. That is my own little personal house rule twist to it.
Okay. She will say semi, not quite. Are we trying to capture that one or kill it? It's fleeing.
I'll use my reaction. I mean to capture it. I have the means.
Okay, then she's gonna stand my turn.
Okay. Zalgus, you're up. You no longer see it.
Because I can't see it, I'm just gonna hold back, and I'll hold an attack action for any signs of another Jackleware heading back in our direction.
Understood. Clara, you're up.
So if I was to use the dash action to move up 60 feet, this Jackleware would not come into view because I don't even know if it's still there or not. Is that correct?
Even if you use your dash action, you wouldn't see it because you don't have dark vision.
Right. Okay. Well, I guess in that case, I'll. All right. I'll just move here and hold the attack action sharpshooter for the same.
You cannot hold sharpshooter. You can only do sharpshooter on your turn.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But you can hold your
All right,
attack.
well then, I will hold the attack then.
Gotcha.
And that's
Tyrion, you're up. Faith on deck.
Okay, so first, Tyrion's gonna move up. Wait. Speed. I guess for now, he's just gonna move up to about there. And can I? No, I'd have to. I guess I'm gonna take a dodge action.
Okay.
Just
Kind
in
of
case.
prepare for an onslaught, keeping your eyes peeled. Faith, you're up. You do still see it. It is fleeing.
I don't think. Well, let me see. I have 45. Oh yeah, I can easily get there. I'm gonna go ahead and just chase it down. I only need what? I think only 35 to reach it, but I will go the extra step with the 40. And I will attack it with my spear.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
For a 21 hit.
21 hits. 7 damage.
No, 6 damage.
Oh, right. 16. Okay. As you as you catch up to it, you see its eyes kind of leer back to you, and it looks almost fearful as the spear plunges into it. It yells out, barking on. Still up.
Alright, bonus action to attack again. Even though some people don't want to murderize it. I don't like them, so I'm going to go ahead and do it.
Okay.
Nope. That
Okay.
whiffs hard.
As you kind of brandish your spear in one hand, you then swing your left fist towards its face as it kind of ducks down out of fear, and it continues to try to run past you. Is that all you're doing?
Yep. That's action plus bonus action and movement, so yep.
Okay. Kari, you're up.
I'm going to.
You don't see it.
But I know it went up that way.
You saw where it fled.
So I'll move my full range. Well, not dash. And until I can see. So I would, after getting about that far, I would see them, right?
Yeah. The faith and still engaged with it.
No, I can't shoot it without killing it without Eldritch Blast, no matter how much I want to.
What are you doing?
Can I incapacitate it with Eldritch Blast?
Not with Eldritch Blast. That does damage. The only way you can actually do non-lethal damage at your present state would be to actually attack it physically.
I need to use my action to get up close to it.
Oh god, I just realized I whiffed that so hard. Besides it being a natural 1, that was also a 1 on the D4.
Oh yeah.
That bless betrayed you.
Actually, no, it didn't even roll the D4. No, it didn't, never mind. The bless did shit.
I'll just fucking shoot him and hope that he doesn't die.
Roll to hit. Remember, you're still blessed.
Yep. Today I learned I cannot spell Eldritch. Yeah, that's it.
You don't need to spell it all out. You can just do cast Eldritch.
I like spelling it all.
Okay. Take your fucking time then.
I will. Exactly what I'm doing.
Roll for you. We'll copy and paste this. 11 does not hit.
Alright, after seeing that it doesn't hit, he'll get that close
How?
in a turn.
Wow.
How?
Oh yeah, I can't. Oh yeah.
Oh,
is that-
much movement speed. Sorry.
Nope. That'll end my turn.
That's more like it.
What?
Ending your turn.
I did.
I know.
End it.
Jackleware's turn. Still in fear. Let's see. And Chase. You need to sleep days now.
Sorry to interrupt you, DM, but since I can now see it, wouldn't that proc my hold action attack? Or no?
You are actually absolutely correct.
And the name of the game is to capture it, right? So can I just withhold the power of killing it from my blow, or
Shoot it in the leg for Jesus for fuck's sake.
I don't know.
That's hard to do with a ranged attack.
Yeah,
Shoot
we
it
had
in the
that rolling
ass.
before on my dart in like session 1. That I wasn't
Okay,
able to use it that way.
then I will make it a complicated shot. I'll do a normal shot, but aim for the specific part of the body, which is the leg, to keep it from running.
There are no called shots in 5e.
But he can't non-lethal an arrow shot.
That's really hard to do.
Well then I will. Yeah.
I can't talk.
Basically, you can either, at this point, you can either take the shot or not take the shot.
Take the shot. Regular, but
Roll to hit.
So much for holding back.
I actually had 12 HP left. So, I mean...
Nice.
All right.
Tong.
So as Sakari launches out his Eldritch Blast and it whiffs, it almost looks like it hits as it does fall. And as Sakari starts patting himself in the back, you actually see an arrow in it. Back.
He won't pat himself on the back. He wanted it to live so we could interrogate him later.
I thought it was our powers combined.
It falls down dead, and combat is now considered over.
Don't forget to end combat in the chat.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me. That way I don't do it next week.
Yeah, that week-long combat.
Is that all of them?
Please tell me it's not dead.
Faith runs a hand over her face, wiping the blood from the splatter of the arrow exploding that thing's head.
I'm gonna take that as a no.
Well, there goes my idea.
As you all begin
This guy
to-
doesn't have anything. Just search the body.
You can give me an investigation check. And as you all begin to collect yourselves and assess the aftermath of the battle, what do y'all wish to do? Experience checking this guy's body? Or
Nothing.
no?
Or is
you don't-
he?
You don't see anything at all. You kind of like
He found.
you don't even pat him down. You just kind of kick him. Like I'm feeling solid.
Furion found a 4-leaf clover.
I'll head over to
He's not that lucky.
Oh, fuck you. You're not wrong, but fuck you.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
head over to this Jackleware over by where I'm standing and check it.
Since I'm here, I will check this one.
Okay, both of you give me investigation checks.
Jesus, y'all can't see shit.
And Faith is actually pretty good at investigating.
Not really. I have a +0.
That's
What are you talking
plus
about?
0. There you
I
go.
was being
You're
sarcastic.
welcome.
Okay. Faith, you kind of pat down the one that's trying to flee. I mean, he has a scimitar. That's all you can find on him. Zalgus, you pat down the Jackleware next to you. You begin kind of inspecting some of the pants pockets. It appears to be not even his size. It looks to be like a size too small, like he just hijacked it from somebody else and kind of slipped it on for the sake of modesty. But inside the pockets, you do find a little bit of coin. You go ahead and add 5 silver and 2 copper to your inventory.
Okie dokie.
But otherwise, you find a few herbs stuffed in the pockets. They've been dried and kind of wilted. Other than that, that's all you find.
Faith will grab the scimitar and make her way back to the rest of the people.
Said 5 silver, 3 copper.
Yes. Would you say Faith? Sorry.
She grabbed the scimitar and made her way back, kind of flaunting it over her shoulder.
Okay. You can go ahead and add a scimitar to inventory.
She's not really going to hold on to it. It's just, so I'm not
Okay.
even going to bother.
That's fine.
And actually, is it? I'm guessing it's not of any kind of quality. It's mostly rusted or some shit, right?
It's not great quality. It's not like entirely rusted, but it's chipped and some of the metal's like peeling off of it.
Yeah. So she comes back with it. God damn, they can't even use decent weapons for this shit. And she throws it on the floor. Like, sticking the blade in the mud.
They are animals. I won't let them use. I'd rather them just use wood or bones, really.
Doesn't quite seem right. We really need to look further.
Oh yeah, there's definitely more of these. Like, two of them wouldn't just be a problem. I'm really curious about what the fuck is going on with Henry, was it? As she points to the dead
Yeah.
Gushmorgan.
Yeah, Henry.
Yeah, I have no idea. I
Henry's
didn't detect
dead.
any magic from him. I assume I still don't detect any magic on them. Do I detect any on, like, the Jackleware or Jackals?
You casting attack magic?
I mean, has it been 10 minutes?
I mean, no, but just using it. Okay, yeah, you don't
was-
see magic around here, aside from you and your companions.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he never turned it off and he never got hit, so...
Also, after she throws the blade to the floor, she's gonna yell, "Y'all can come back out now!"
Upon saying that, you don't hear or see anything.
She shrugs.
I think the pixies are going to be a little too freaked out for right now until everything's dealt with the Jackleware.
I don't see them around either, so...
We did just litter their home with bodies.
But we are technically helping them with a problem that could continue to destroy their home, considering the Jacklewares are part of the issue.
Well, the commotion here might have stirred up some of the others, so... As we go forward, we might want to keep checking for more ambushes like that.
Well, Henry here distracted us long enough to set up for that ambush. So he was part of the problem.
Yeah, we don't know if they'll... I'd say I guess if they try that again, we'll be more aware, but... I'm almost curious where... With him mentioning home, if they actually do have the camp in that direction.
I'm just gonna say, we were pretty aware that time, but we still didn't do anything about it. We just kind of let him do it.
Again, I look at his eyes and then I check the eyes of the beast. Like, I roll them back over just to look at them, and then I go and have a look at Henry's eyes right afterwards. Do I notice any similar?
Between Henry's eyes and the other Jackalwares?
Yeah.
Okay, I kind of opening up the eyelids of the now dead Jackalwares. Henry's eyes are silver. The other Jackalwares' eyes are kind of hazelish.
Faith, did you mention anything about the color of the eyes of the Jackalware that you saw last night?
Yeah, it was silver. Why?
Looky. As I hold open the eyes of Henry.
Well, I did mention earlier that I thought that he was being mind controlled.
He couldn't have been. There was no magic emanating from him.
Faith shrugs.
At least not like the rats were.
Did the rats have magic actually brewing off of them?
Yes.
Well, I don't know. I would assume that the transformation into a human then would have been magic too.
That's what I thought, which is a little confusing to me.
So,
Well, Jackalwares were studied in the Magic College, but the thing was, they weren't studied overtly as magical beasts or anything. They were studied as the analysis of monsters. And the stuff that I remember didn't mention anything about the myth of the transformation being anything magical. It was like a natural physical process, or at least that's what the myth suggests.
well, wouldn't he change? Wouldn't he still change back if he died?
Again, the transformation thing's a myth. Old wives' tale, that sort of thing, but you know what they say about myths? Myths come from legends. Legends come from a fact. So there's probably some sort of connection with this sort of change that the Jackalwares had probably done in the past and this whole thing with their current form now.
Well, if it's not magical, it's possible that the body would have to be alive for it to take place, but what do I know? Either way, he obviously was one of them in some sense, considering he called them.
I don't know that he actually called the Jackalwares as much as he had the Jackals.
Well, he called the Jackals at least then.
Like, I'm not putting it past the Jackalwares to be in ties with him, but he definitely had some say over the Jackals themselves.
And they were working together, that's for sure.
I don't know, the Jackalwares just kind of jumped in. I didn't...
Probably just waiting.
Either that or they stumbled across us at the same time. I really don't know.
Either way, we need to keep going.
I don't know about y'all, but I could use a break.
What, do you want to rest for an hour?
That'd probably do it, yeah.
Hopefully, these fairies don't mind us making a campfire.
That wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, I don't think the
No.
fire would be a great idea.
Also, pixies.
Do you not know how to make one safely? Should be a fire pit. Keep it from
I don't
spreading.
think
Not...
you
It's
quite
not about
understand.
It's not about it actually being safe as much setting up a signal flare for other things to say, "Hey, we're over here, come attack us!"
Yeah, so if the commotion wasn't bad enough, actually building a fire. No, we should pull back towards the side. Go somewhere within the brush to rest if necessary.
Yeah, agreed.
Isn't
So,
this over here just like a cliff face, sort of? Or a side of a
Yes.
hill?
Yeah. Presently, that's technically a stone wall. It's climbing up about maybe 15 to 30 feet, give or take, certain areas.
So why don't we just put our backs to that wall over there and take a quick break and then pick up the trail afterwards?
So be it.
One less place to be attacked from. I can go with that.
If you insist.
Okay, so just start walking towards the way. Like, if y'all want to keep investigating, that's fine. I'm just gonna go take a break.
So, are you all taking a short rest then?
Yep. I will.
Okay. So, you all will go ahead and rest along the cliffside for about an hour then. You can go ahead and use a short rest on your character sheets. If you want to roll any hit die, please roll that in Discord. Completely up to you, of course, unless you all want to cast spells or whatever. Or drink potions. To this point, I'm also going to ask you all as the players, do you want to end the session here? Or do you want to progress on to the
Why didn't the short rest button actually restore HP for me?
Because you actually have to roll that yourself and actually put that in there yourself manually.
I just thought the sheet would have done it automatically.
No, it can't be that smart. So Zalgus restores 7 HP.
Oh, I'm good.
Short rest doesn't restore HP.
It does. You have to spend some of your hit die to do it, though.
Basically, you're a fighter, so you could roll a d10. You can have as many hit die as your level, so you have up to 2d10 you can roll to restore life with a short rest. When you take a long rest, you restore up to half of your hit die to use for short rest again in the future.
Okay, I used one hit die, so I guess I'll roll it.
Okay, go ahead and roll 1d10 plus your Constitution modifier in dice rolls. Okay, you restore 5 HP. Okay, so I ask again to you all as players, do you wish to end the session here tonight, or do you wish to progress to the next area?
I'm thinking this be it for tonight for me.
I mean, it's a good stopping point.
All right, then. If I have more than one person say so, then yeah, we'll go ahead and end things there. So as you all begin to collect together and take your short rest, it is about 8 p.m. as the nighttime begins to enclose around you, and you all nestle up together to take a small rest before you continue on in search of where the Jackalwares are hiding. We'll go ahead and pick this up next week.
Okay, well.
Good job, people.
We didn't get murderized. Only one person got put to sleep.
Again.
Same person as last time.
And that'll be a common gag from here on out. As I remind everybody, we were saving any shoutouts for events that happen in Streamland for after the game or during any break. This would be that time. I do want to thank Teepers After Dark for giving us a raid of 7 people. That's pretty a big deal.
Yes.
Well, you're a big deal.
I'm not even going to comment on that. Don't everybody shout and thank him at once. I mean, you know.
I mean,
Thank
bacon.
you, man.
I said yes.
Well, Allison didn't want to say yes.
Hey, and I said woo raid and chat in actual chat when it happened.
Yeah, I saw it.
Haha.
We really do appreciate it.
Oh yeah, flying Doritos, chip razor.
Likewise, we do appreciate everybody showing up tonight and passing by, whether to say hi or just visit and watch our shenanigans.
Thank you for listening and watching, guys. This has really meant a lot. Thank you.
And of course, we'll be back next week, and hopefully every weekend on Friday at 7:30 Central Time for more shenanigans as we continue through Dreams of Azure. We'll see what happens with the Jacklewares and maybe find some treasure.
Jacklewares are us. But we will see you guys in the next one. And once again, thanks for coming out. See you, dudes.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Later.